O'Connell Pharmacy, the O'Connell Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and with Piggly Wiggly, also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing.
Hello and welcome to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Top of the first inning is about underway, but you are listening to the WOCO Sports pregame show on 107.1 FM, 1260 AM, and on the YouTube live stream presented by WOCO. My name's Nolan Knight. Dave is in the studio helping me out today, and you are listening to Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball. The Bullfrogs are in Rockford for the last time this season. This game against the Rockford Rivets, the last of the season. The Bullfrogs are 0-7 against the Rockford Rivets this year and are looking to avoid the sweep today. The Bullfrogs last night would be blown out by the Rockford Rivets, losing 10-1. The Bullfrogs would commit 5 errors in the game, and 5 unearned runs would go against Bullfrogs pitchers, and that number has crept up all season. The Green Bay Bullfrogs have committed more errors than any other team and have allowed more unearned runs than any other team as well. Bullfrogs run differential on the season sitting at a abominable negative 156. But, however, here in the past few games, the Bullfrogs have been hot, and you got to give credit where it's due. The Bullfrogs have won 6 out of their last 8 and have looked good at times. Last night, however, would be some times where they did not look good. As mentioned, 5 errors against the Bullfrogs, their largest number of the season. The Bullfrogs would take a 1-0 lead in the game off of the bat of Kyle Binio, who would hit in the lone run of the game for the Bullfrogs. The Rockford Rivets would respond with a run in the bottom of the second to tie it up 1-1. That's when things got ugly for the Bullfrogs, as 2 unearned runs would come across in the bottom of the third inning. 1 earned run would come across as well. That made it 4-1, and the Bullfrogs still manageable margin there, but it would just get worse from there. 2 runs in the bottom of the fourth, a run in the bottom of the fifth, and then to cap off the game in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Rockford Rivets buried the Bullfrogs, putting 3 runs on the board and bringing the score to 10-1. Despite the Bullfrogs' offensive struggles and defensive struggles, they would manage 9 hits on the night. Not a bad number whatsoever. They would leave many runners on the base, however, and they just couldn't seem to string together any hits. Connor Wallersheim would get the loss for the Bullfrogs. His overall record moves to 4-3 on the season, all of those numbers coming with 10 starts. He would pitch just 3 innings for the Bullfrogs, allowing 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and struck out 3. That dropped his ERA to 2.44, which is still the best ERA on the team. Jake S. would come in to relieve him. He dealt in 1 inning of work, allowing 2 hits, no earned runs, but 2 runs would go against him. Would walk none and strike out none. They brought in Alex Tadola to pitch 2 innings of work, and he didn't do too bad. 2 innings, no earned runs, 1 run scored, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. Ethan Ivanko comes in to pitch an inning of work. He allowed just 1 hit, no walks, no errors, no earned runs, and no strikeouts. And then Luke Van Lanen reached the bottom of the 8th inning, and he kind of struggled. Luke Van Lanen would deal just 1 inning of work, but 5 hits on the board, followed by 3 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout. All of that coming in the bottom of the 8th inning. That would be it for the Bullfrogs. They would go down in order in the 9th inning and drop their 19th game of the season. The Bullfrogs now sit at 9-19 on the year, and the Rockford Rivets improve to 20-9. The Rockford Rivets currently first place in the South Division. They are the team to beat. Overall sit at 37-26, a very impressive plus 11 over 500. Let's go over the starting lineups, then step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, I was able to meet up with Chris Marston's pitching coach for the Green Bay Bullfrogs. We'll start with the Rockford Rivets starting lineup. Brandon Martinez is the leadoff man tonight. Martinez would have one heck of a game yesterday against the Bullfrogs, managing a 4-for-6 day, so he finds himself back in that leadoff spot. Hunter Fiducia, the designated hitter out of LSU, is batting second tonight. Neil Tyrell, first baseman out of Lewis, is batting third. Brian Klein, third baseman out of Texas Tech, will be batting cleanup tonight for the Rockford Rivets. Zach Reams, five-hole hitter tonight, the left fielder out of Texas Tech. Kean O'Brien, right fielder out of Madison College, will be batting in the six-hole. Anthony Forte, center fielder out of Richmond, will be in the seven-hole. Logan Michaels, center fielder out of Madison College, batting eighth for the Rivets tonight. And Trevor Paradosky, he is in the nine-hole, the shortstop out of Texas Tech. Starting pitcher on the night for the Rockford Rivets, Max Bain, the right-handed pitcher out of Northwestern. Coming into the game for the Rockford Rivets is supporting an ERA that's not the prettiest, but he does have a 2-1 record. Max Bain coming into the game for the Rockford Rivets supporting a ERA of 6.75, would really struggle in his last start against the Battle Creek Bombers, where in 2 2/3 innings he would allow 7 earned runs. More on Bain later. Let's give you your lineups for your Green Bay Bullfrogs. Mikey Falia leading things off tonight, the center fielder out of UC Irvine. Connor Beniski batting second, left fielder out of State College of Florida. Riley Smith, shortstop out of Minnesota, batting third. Troy Johnston, right fielder out of Gonzaga, batting fourth. Dan Leckie, third baseman out of Lafayette College, batting fifth. Kyle Bino in the six-hole, designated hitter out of Youngstown State. Ben Hart, second baseman out of Oakland. Willie Bourbon, first baseman out of Northwestern, batting eighth. And Zach Plunkett, the Arkansas product, playing catcher tonight with Jared Toby on the mound. We step aside for the national anthem. You're listening to 107.1 FM on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
At 24/7 well and pump service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. And a licensed professional will come out to your site, whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines. They'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 well and pump service. Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Do you feel like you're paying too much for your medication? Stop in at Oconto Pharmacy and see our pharmacist, Ron or Poom, about our cost minimization program. We can save you some money. The Oconto Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Who do I play high school softball for? I play for my mom and dad who've never missed a game.
Whether they're playing for their teammates, their classmates, or their community, high school student athletes in Wisconsin learn important lessons they'll use for the rest of their lives, like respect for the rules and the value of hard work and sacrifice. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Partly cloudy tonight with a chance for scattered storms. Lows around 53. Northeast winds around 5 miles an hour. Chance for scattered rain showers tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 73. Mainly sunny skies. Mainly clear skies and quiet again tomorrow night. Lows level off around 55. Seasonal temps Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the upper 70s. Chance for scattered storms Wednesday. For WOCO Radio, I'm meteorologist Derek Height.
Here in Rockford, Illinois, Bullfrogs looking to avoid the season sweep. They are 0-7 against the Rockford Rivets, looking for their first win. I was able to meet up with Chris Marston's pitching coach for the Green Bay Bullfrogs to talk about last night's game and the goals for the Bullfrogs for the rest of the season. Listen in. I'm here with Chris Marston's pitching coach for the Bullfrogs. Coach, last night, tough loss for the Bullfrogs, but overall they have won 6 of their last 8.
Yeah, we've been playing pretty well, hitting the ball real well the last week and a half, and our pitching's come around. So put those two things together, you start winning a few games.
Bullfrogs have yet to defeat the Rockford Rivets, 0-7 on the season. What are they going to have to do tonight where they struggled with last night to win?
The walks and hit by pitches, I think we had 10 total last night. We cut those out. We cut out our errors. We had 5-6 errors on the evening. We cut those things out, and could be a completely different ball game. I mean, we were leading in hits until the last inning there, and it just didn't translate to the scoreboard.
Coming into the game, coming down to it, 1 week left in the season. What's the goals for the Bullfrogs who've already been knocked out of the playoffs for the rest of the year?
I look at it as an opportunity for us to knock somebody else out of the playoffs. That's what we're playing for now. I mean, we don't have that chance to get in, but we can cut somebody else's chance short. So.
That was Chris Marston's pitch coach for the Green Bay Bullfrogs. We are underway. First pitch into Mikey Falia. Comes in, swung on, found away right side, foul, 0-1. Starting pitcher out on the mound, Max Bain out of Northwoods University, right-handed hurler, who has a nice fastball, 0-1. Another fastball, and that one runs wide and moves the count even, a ball and a strike. We are in Rockford, Illinois for a 4:05 matinee. Bullfrogs against the Rivets. Bullfrogs 0-7 against the Rivets this season. A 1-1. That one swung on and found away right side. Falia stays alive, but goes down in the count 1-2. It's an absolutely gorgeous day here in Illinois. Blue skies, lightly clouds, nice breeze in the stadium. Couldn't ask for a better Sunday showdown. Mikey Falia, right-handed batter out of UC Irvine, awaits, and Bain deals. The 1-2 pitch, that one runs high and wide and evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bullfrogs last night would be defeated by this Rockford Rivets team 10-1. 5 unearned runs would come across in that game off of 5 Bullfrogs errors. 2-2. Breaking ball finds the outside portion of the zone, and Max Bain starts his day out with a backwards K, and Falia goes down looking to lead things up. Connor Beniski due up now for the Bullfrogs, left fielder out of State College of Florida. Connor Beniski on the season for the Green Bay Bullfrogs and struggled a bit at the plate. He swings at the first one, a slicer to the shortstop. Grabs it on the first bounce, a stutter step, and a throw is in time, and out number 2 is recorded at first base where Neil Tyrell reaches out to make the grab. Good play from the shortstop, Trevor Paradosky. That will bring up Riley Smith, the shortstop. Riley Smith out of the University of Minnesota. This past season for the Golden Gophers would struggle, batting just .153, but this season for the Bullfrogs has really broken out, batting .279 coming into today, but was on a 8-game hit streak going into the series against the Woodchucks, but has gone hitless since. First pitch into Smith. Fastball right over the plate, 0-1, and Max Bain is off to a great start. Bain on the season for the Rockford Rivets coming into the game with a 6.75 ERA. Does have a 2-1 record and has struck out 6, walking 5. Right-handed pitcher out of Michigan kicks the leg in the 0-1. It's a fastball and runs low, and it moves the count to a ball and a strike. Max Bain out of Clarksville, Michigan, not too far from Northwoods University. A absolute presence on the mound out there, 6'3", 205, just a freshman as well, 0-1. Fastball, and that one hits the lower portion and moves the count to 0-2. Riley Smith falls behind. So 2 outs on the board, nobody on here in the top of the first inning, just got underway. The dish swung on and found away right side. And rather the first one that went past Riley Smith was a ball. So with the foul off there, it moves the count to 1-2. Riley Smith, right-handed hitter out of Minnesota, recently named to the Major League Dream Showcase. One of just 2 Bullfrogs that would be selected to participate. The 1-2 from Bain. Fastball runs high, evens the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Major League Dream Showcase happening on Tuesday. Just 2 days from now, I guess it would be now. That has crept up on us. It's in Madison, Wisconsin, at the home of the Mallards at the Duck Pond. In the 2-2 from Bain. Fastball swung on, chopper right side, foul. Rolls towards the Bullfrogs dugout, and Riley Smith will pick his bat back up and walk back around to his batter's box and dig back in. It should be close to 30 to 40 scouts at the showcase watching the the best of the Northwoods League compete. It's essentially a all-star game, except the only difference is the players selected to it were selected by scouts themselves, whereas the all-star game was voted on by coaches and media. 2-2. Pass ball and runs in the dirt, and count moves to a full count, 3-2. So essentially, it's probably the better of the all-star games, because I can probably guarantee to you that a Major League Scout can probably pick who should be on an all-star team better than myself. Payoff pitch. Swung on, chopper to the shortstop, Paradosky. Picks it up on the third bounce. The throw to first is in time. Riley Smith nearly makes that one an infield single, and Smith yells at the first base umpire in frustration. He can't believe it. First base umpire over there, Harvey, hands on hip, staring down Riley Smith, saying, "Go on, keep screaming at me." And Riley Smith walks away shaking his head, and when there's already some complaints about the umpires tonight, that's not a good sign. Stay tuned for the bottom of the first inning. The Bullfrogs go down in order here in the top of the first. You're listening to 107.1 FM on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Wisconsin did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. My name's Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, and you are listening to 107.1 FM and 1260 AM on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. My name's Nolan Knight, about to get underway with the bottom of the first inning. If you're just joining us, the Bullfrogs went down in order to start off the game, and we are here in the bottom of the first, tied up 0-0, and Jared Toby out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. Left-handed pitcher out of Wayne State University. Due up for the Rockford Rivets, Bryn Martinez. First one to him. Shows bunt, but pulls it back. It found the zone anyway. 0-1. About chest level inside. Bryn Martinez kind of snaps his body back towards his dugout, almost as if to see if the reactions from his teammates at the missed call. And the 0-1 comes in. That one swung on and fouled back to the backstop. 0-2. Bryn Martinez last night on fire for the Rockford Rivets, was definitely a pick to be chosen for and the player of the game. 0-2. Breaking ball that runs wide and in the dirt. A ball and 2 strikes now. Last night would go 4 for 6 and managed an RBI to his name as well. Managed a run on the night also. The 1-2. Fastball found the zone. A backwards K for Jared Toby. And Bryn Martinez does not leave things off where he left off, goes down looking, and Jared Toby, he starts the way he wanted to, grabs himself a strikeout, and that would be his 58th of the season. My apologies, that would be his 38th of the season. Got ahead of myself there. Hunter Fiducia digs in for the Rockford Rivets. First one to him. Fastball inside, goes by just a bit, 2 inside, 1-0. Fiducia steps out, gives a practice swing, digs back in. The 1-0. Swung on, line drive right side. Willie Bourbon leaping, making the grab. Out number 2 from the first baseman, Willie Bourbon. 2 up, 2 down, just like that. A line out to Willie Bourbon over there, hot on his toes there. Jumping in the air, just snatching that one out of the air there. Houdini makes it disappear. And 2 outs on the board, and Neil Tyrell, the first baseman, digs in. Right-handed batter watches the first one to go by in the dirt, 1-0. Neil Tyrell out of Lewis University, batting just .236 on the season for the Rivets. Jared Toby, the lefty, kicks the leg in the 1-0. Swung on, grounder left side. Dan Leckie running over, but it's foul. That one just missing fair territory there. And the count moves to a ball and a strike. Neil Tyrell last night would be hitting in the 4 hole, so he moves up 1 spot tonight. And as the designated hitter, went 0 for 3. 0-1. That one goes by for a strike. Finds the zone and moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Jared Toby nods his head, kicks his leg, the 1-2. Swung on, blooper into right field. Tracking back is the second baseman, been hard, but it falls over his head for a single. And the Rockford Rivets grab the first hit of the game, and Neil Tyrell closes out his cold streak, gets on base with a single to lead things off for himself here in the first inning. That brings up Brian Klein, the third baseman. Brian Klein last night would not appear in the lineup for the Rockford Rivets, but Klein on the season for the Rockford Rivets, batting at .290. Klein, the shortstop normally for the Rockford Rivets, playing third base tonight. First 1-2. Swung on and found straight back, 0-1. Brian Klein has appeared in 47 games for the Rivets. Has the 3rd most starts on the team. Has been a guy that's been around since the start. Left-handed batter, swings at the 0-1 and misses, 0-2. Jared Toby getting ahead in the count here early, and that's really what he struggled with this season out on the mound, as Toby on the year has walked 42 to his 38 strikeouts. The 0-2. Breaking ball, swung on, line drive to center, and that falls for a base hit and gets away from Mikey Falia. Running around second is the leadoff batter, and Neil Tyrell. He's rounding third now, and he comes around to score. The tough fielding continues for the Bullfrogs. What should have been just a single with runners at first and second turns into a run scored and a double for the batter in Brian Klein. And the Rivets take a 1-0 lead. It's a liner, just a blooper, in fact, out to center field. Mikey Falia running forward. Should be a routine play, and it hits the tuft of grass out there and gets out of his grasp. Has to turn over, pick it up, and throw it in. And it scores a run for the Rockford Rivets. New batter stands in. Zach Reams, the left fielder, swings at the first one and misses. And the count moves to 0-1. Zach Reams last night managed a 1-for-4 day with a run scored. Left-handed batter awaits. Toby deals. Fastball and runs wide, and the count moves to 2-0. So the Bullfrogs starting things off where they left off. 5 errors yesterday. It will be ruled a hit and then a error. The 1-1. That one runs low, moves the count to 2-1. And Jared Toby this season, he's a guy that's kind of struggled once his team behind him makes some errors, and we'll see if he can respond here. The 2-1. Swung on and fouled straight back, evens the count up 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Bullfrogs trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Brian Klein will grab himself a single and moves over to second off of the error. And Neil Tyrell comes around to score off of the error from the center fielder, Mikey Falia. And so the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board. Toby comes set. Fastball swung on and missed. And Jared Toby gets out of the frame with a swinging strikeout. And the Bullfrogs allow a run to come across. We'll see if they can bounce back. They trail 1-0. Stay tuned for the second inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Attention pizza lovers, have you tried a brew pub pizza? Designed to be the best of the best pub pizzas ever made, every brew pub Lots of Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brew Pub Pizzas out at facebook.com/brewpubpizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
Tired of running to the bank for every little check? You can save a trip to the bank with the convenience of mobile check deposit from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. Snapping a picture with our app is as safe as depositing checks at one of our 7 locations. No more rushing to the bank before closing to make those important deposits. Visit snbt.com to enroll for mobile check deposit today. The Stevenson National Bank and Trust, 101 Bray Lake Way in O'Connell, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Top of the second frame about to get underway. The Bullfrogs trail 1-0. Rockford Rivets played a run off of an error in the bottom of the first inning, and so the Bullfrogs, I guess, picking up where they left off last night. Of course, 5 errors last night and 5 unearned runs. Already 1 error tonight with an unearned run. Leading things off for the Green Bay Bullfrogs will be Troy Johnston. First one to him. Fastball right over the plate. Johnston likes it, swings and misses. 0-1. Max Bain still on a mound. The right-handed pitcher out of Northwoods. The 0-1. That's a fastball that runs wide and it moves the count to a ball and a strike. Matt Baines this past season for Northwood University would make 17 appearances. All of them starts. That's an impressive number. 17 starts this past year. As Troy Johnston swings at the 1-1, a blooper into center field, and there's the first hit for the Bullfrogs, and it's off the bat of Troy Johnston, continuing where he left off last night, as Troy Johnston for the Bullfrogs would manage a hit and go 1 for 4 with the run scored. But 17 starts this past season at Northwood University, would strike out 20 in 18 1/3 innings pitched. Ended the year with a 4.91 ERA, so some interesting bullpen work, I guess you could say, for Northwood University. 17 starts, but just 18 innings pitched. First one into Dan Leckie. Fastball and has swung on and missed. 0-1. Max Bain, known for his fastball, can just deal him in there. And why not? He's got the strength to. He's a tall, stocky pitcher. Max Bain standing at a Goliath, 6'3", 205. 0-1. Fastball right over the plate. 0-2. Dan Leckie falls behind. Runner over at first in Troy Johnston. He's been one of the hotter players for the Bullfrogs. Coming into the game in his last 10, Johnston batting .372. Dan Leckie stands in, awaiting. Bain deals in that one, swung on a broken back chopper that lands into fair territory, and Dan Leckie gets so much underneath of it, slicing it, that it falls in fair territory, and then the spin on the ball absolutely spits it out right side past the first base line, and it rolls all the way towards the Bullfrogs dugout. I think that's the most spin we've seen on a ball all season, and Dan Leckie will have to go into the dugout, pick out a new piece of lumber, and dig back in. You could hear it off the bat right away that it was a broken bat, just a splitting sound. And luckily it's not against Dan Leckie, as he's able to stay alive after fouling it away, but he's down in the count 0-2 still. Max Bain, the right-handed pitcher, comes set. Checks the runner over at first, and Troy Johnston, who takes off early but then runs back. Fooling the catcher there. He was ready to pop up and throw it to first. And Max Bain must have sensed the urgency, dealt one in, but it was in the dirt. 1-2. Slight breeze here in Rockford, Illinois, here at Rivet Stadium. American flag out in right center, going from right to left field. Max Bain throws it over to first. Troy Johnston jogs back safely. No outs on the board here, 1 runner on at top of the second inning. The 1-2 for Max Bain is dealt. Fastball runs high, and it evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, that number here from Northwoods University, that's on the press notes here, so it could not be the correct number. I'm going to look it up because, I mean, that would be almost impressive. 17 starts and just 18 innings pitched. Max Bain throws it back over to first. This time, Troy Johnston slides back in. A little worried this time, had a larger lead. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, no outs on the board. The Bullfrogs trail 1-0. Max Bain comes set and deals in the 2-2. Runner off. Throw down from Michaels. Way high, it's into the outfield. Troy Johnston thinks about taking off for third as well, but then elects to stay there. Nonetheless, it's a stolen base for Troy Johnston, and there's runners in scoring position now for the Bullfrogs with Johnston at second. The pitch was dealt in, was a called strike, so it's a strike him out. And Logan Michaels tries for the throw out, but the throw way high. In fact, the second baseman, Bryn Martinez, that comes over to cover, goes launching in the air and can't even put the mitt on it. So Kyle Bino digs in now for the Bullfrogs. Designated hitter last night was the Aurora Bay Care Sports Medicine player of the game. First one to him. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Kyle Bino, of course, had not played, but found himself in the lineup last night. Made the most of it. Max Bain comes set and deals in the 0-1. That one swung on and missed as well. 0-2. Not only would Kyle Bino manage the lone RBI of the game for the Bullfrogs, but would manage a multi-hit game as well. Going 2 for 4 with an RBI. 3 Bullfrogs managed multi-hit games. Mikey Folia, Kyle Bino, and Zach Plunkett. Bino stands in and awaits. Max Bain, the righty out of Northwoods, comes set. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Max Bain grabs himself another strikeout. Make that 3 on the night, 2 in a row. So with a runner in scoring position and no outs on the board, now 2 outs on the board with Ben Hart digging in. For the Bullfrogs in this situation, exactly who you want to see dig in. I mean, Ben Hart has been unreal here in his last few games. On the last 10 games, batting .333, and on the season, batting .287. Randy out of Oakland digs in. First one to him. Swung on, ground ball left side. Third baseman snags it. The throw to first is a bit high, but Neil Tyrell stretching in the air, grabs it, beating out Ben Hart by a step. The Bullfrogs leave a runner in scoring position, and they can't plate a run. They trail by 1-0. Stay tuned for the bottom of the second. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network 107.1 FM.
American Inn Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Hi folks, this is David from Witt's Piggly Wiggly in Oconto Falls. Are you sick of rising gas prices? Well, at Witt's we have a solution. When you purchase qualified groceries with blue shelf stickers, and there's hundreds throughout our store, you build up discounts for 15 gallons of gas on your club card. Then when you fill up at our Pig Stop pumps, just scan your card and watch the gas price drop. So scan your card, shop the blue stickers, and save money on gas at the Pig in Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. My name's Nolan Knight, bottom of the second inning, about to get underway. And the Bullfrogs trail the Rockford Rivets 1-0. This is the 8th game of a 8-game season series, and the Bullfrogs so far on the season winless against this Rockford Rivets team, the only team in the Northwoods League that they have not managed a win against. Of course, that's just the South Division, as the South Division and North Division no longer go and play another team on the other side of the division with the addition of the 2 teams this year. So due up for the Rockford Rivets here in the bottom of the second frame will be Kean O'Brien. O'Brien last night for the Rockford Rivets would go 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and 2 walks. Right-handed batter digs in and awaits. Jared Toby out on the mound deals in the 1-0. It's swung on, slow grounder to second. Ben Hart has it. The throw to first is a bit low, but Willie Bourbon out makes the grab for outs number 1. One away, and that will bring up Anthony Forte, the center fielder. Last night, of course, Ben Hart managed 3 errors for the Bullfrogs, or against it, however you want to phrase it. And what might have been his worst outing as an infielder has had his struggles this season. But grabs that one cleanly, throws it to first clean. The Bullfrogs get the first down. First batter, Anthony Forte, after the ground out, digs in and watches the first one go by high and tight, 1-0. Toby comes set. Lefty out of Wayne State deals in the 1-0. Fastball right over Broadway, 1-1. Anthony Forte, center fielder last night, would go 1 for 4, managing 2 runs scored and an RBI. Left-handed batter awaits and swings at the 1-1 pitch and misses. 1-2. Anthony Forte on the season for the Rockford Rivets, batting .284. Has been a bright spot in the lineup card. The 1-2 finds the zone, a backwards K, make it out number 2, 2 up, 2 down here in the second. The third strikeout of the night for Jared Toby, who has looked good. The Bullfrogs trail 1-0, but remember, Neil Tyrell scores on a unearned run. He would score off the bat of Brian Klein, who managed a single. A blooper out into center field, and when Mikey Falia, the center fielder, was running in to grab it, it took a funky bounce out there and got past his glove. First one into Logan Michaels. Fastball that runs inside, 1-0. Logan Michaels last night did not find himself in the lineup against the Bullfrogs, but on this season, Logan Michaels batting .300. Swings at the 0-1 pitch, a blooper in left field. Connor Beniski running in, diving, and making the play. 3 up, 3 down, capped off with a great play from Connor Beniski out in the left field. That does it for the bottom of the second inning. What a play. Stay tuned for the third. The Bullfrogs trail 1-0. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Tri-City Glass and Doors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960. Specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Wisconsin is this: without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to Rockford, Illinois, here at Rivet Stadium. Max Bain still out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets, the right-handed pitcher out of Northwoods University. Clarksville, Michigan, right-handed pitcher. As I mentioned, a presence out there on the mound, 6'3", 245. Might be one of the biggest pitchers that we've seen all season, and he hasn't pitched all that bad for the Rockford Rivets here today or throughout the season for that matter. On the year, does have a kind of head-scratching ERA of 6.75, but has a 2-1 record, would pitch 2 great starts against the Kalamazoo Growlers in Wisconsin Rapids. First one into the new batter, Willie Bourbon, runs by high and tight, 1-0. Against the Growlers, would pitch 3 innings, allowing just 1 earned run and 2 hits. The 1-0 swung on and missed, moves the count to 1-1. Against the Wisconsin Rapids, would pitch 5 innings, allowing no earned runs and 7 hits, striking out 1. And that's not an easy team to beat. Gets the win against them. The 1-1 dish. Another fastball. This one swung on and found away. Moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Would struggle his last appearance, though, on July 31st against Bath. would get the loss. And 2 2/3 innings out there on the mound allowed 9 runs to come across off of 7 hits. The 1-2. It's a breaking ball that runs low into the dirt, and Willie Bourbon watches it all the way into the mid of Logan Michaels, 2-2. Willie Bourbon last night for the Bullfrogs went 0 for 3 and would be walked once. Left-handed batter out of Northwestern awaits, and Max Bain deals in the 2-2. A fastball that finds the lower inside portion. Strike 3. Willie Bourbon goes down looking, and to make it the 4th strikeout of the night for Max Bain. That's a season high. So that brings up Zach Plunkett, the right-handed pitch hitter out of Arkansas. Last night, Zach Plunkett would have a pretty solid day, a multi-hit day at that, going 2 for 4. First one in for Max Bain. Fastball swung on and missed, 0-1. Zach Plunkett just a bit behind on that one. Plunkett on the season batting 193, but has been better than that here recently for the Bullfrogs. Plunkett here in his last 10 games batting .310. That's in 8 starts, managing 9 hits along the way and 3 RBIs. The 0-1, and that one Plunkett chases into the zone, and he goes down on the count 0-2, and Zach Plunkett, the beer batter here tonight at Rivet Stadium, and so all of the children and parents alike chanting, "We want beer" here in Rockford. The 0-2 into Zach Plunkett. That one runs wide and moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. 4 strikeouts already tonight for Max Bain. As mentioned, a season high. A newcomer to the team. Max Bain comes set, rocks the leg, kicks it, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the crowd goes wild. Zach Plunkett goes down swinging, and it's half-price beer for all of the fans here in attendance at Rivet Stadium. Granted, not as good of a crowd as yesterday, which you can imagine Saturday night versus Sunday afternoon. But with that said, make it another strikeout for Max Bain. That's now 5 tonight. Back up to the leadoff man, Mikey Falia. He's one of the strikeout victims of Max Bain. And the first one to him. Fastball low in the zone, or below the zone, I should say, 1-0. Mikey Falia out of UC Irvine, batting .301 on the season, has managed 15 RBIs on the year as well. Went 2 for 5 yesterday. 0-1. Swung on and fouled down into the dirt. Moves the count to 1-1 rather, as the scoreboard's been a bit off today. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs on the board, nobody on. Bullfrogs trying to avoid a 1-2-3 inning. Max Bain's already dealt in 1, and we're only in the top of the 3rd. The 1-1. Breaking ball, swung on and fouled back. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Just 1 hit tonight for the Bullfrogs thus far, and that would be Troy Johnston. Max Bain has retired every other batter he's faced. Bain, the right-handed out there on the mound, standing in poised. Waiting Folia to digs back in. He does, and the 1-2 is dealt. Swung on, ground ball to Trevor Paradosky at short. He scoops it up. A long throw to first is in time, and Mikey Folia 0 for 2 on the night now, as he's the 3rd Bullfrogs to ground out to short. That does it here for the top of the 3rd inning. The Bullfrogs go down in order. 1, 2, 3. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 3rd. You're listening to 107.1 FM on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Want that new home? You can own it. NEW Credit Union has several mortgage options to choose from. Along with our 5- and 7-year balloon and 10-year fixed terms, NEW Credit Union now offers a 15-year fixed term. Find out how to get pre-approved for your home loan. Ask one of our knowledgeable mortgage specialists. Call 800-924-1250 today. That's 800-924-1250. Offices in Oconto Falls, Surrey, and Oconto. NEW Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender, serving all who live or work in Brown, Marinette, Shawano, and Oconto counties. Federally insured by the NCUA. All loans subject to approval. Visit www.newcu.org for more details. Choose your home. At NEW Credit Union, we can help you own it.
Welcome back to Rivet Stadium. Bottom of the third inning, about to get underway. Jared Toby out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. Left-handed pitcher out of Wayne State University. Has not done all too shabby here in 2 innings of work. Has allowed 2 hits and 1 run, but it was unearned. An error against the center fielder would score Neil Tyrell in the first frame, and since then, just about every single batter he's faced has gone down because, well, that happened. The next 4 batters he's faced, he has retired. 3 strikeouts here on the night with no walks. I think that's the most notable number, as of course Jared Toby out on the mound has struggled with walking batters this season. And Trevor Paradosky, the shortstop, digs in to lead off the bottom of the third. First one to him. Fastball high and tight. Paradosky has to limbo away out of that one, nearly hitting him. Moves the count to a ball and no strikes. Jared Toby kicks the leg in the 1-0. Swung on, ground ball right side. Ben Hart got a late read on it, can't catch up to it. And Trevor Paradosky grabs the 3rd hit of the game for the Rockford Rivets, and he's on over at first. Last night, Trevor Paradosky batting in the 9-hole as well, went 0 for 4, so his first hit of this series. Would manage an RBI in the game last night, however, and he stands on over at first. That brings up the leadoff man, Bryn Martinez. Martinez struck out looking his last time up. Jared Toby comes set and deals. First one to Martinez, a fastball wide, 1-0. Bryn Martinez starting his season out with the Kalamazoo Growlers, and Growlers with just a surplus of infielders. They cut him after his temporary contract was due, and the Rockford Rivets said, yeah, we'll take him, and why not? With the way Bryn Martinez played last night, he's trying to prove something to this team. A 4 for 6 day. Another one goes by him as well, so a 2-0 count now. Toby comes set and deals. Swung on and fouled straight back. Moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. 1 runner at first in Trevor Paradosky. He gets on with the single. The 3rd single of the game for the Rockford Rivets. Toby, the lefty, comes set, kicks the leg, and that one swung on and fouled back as well. And it should be 2-2, but the scoreboard says 1-2. Unless, of course, somehow or another I imagined another strike or ball. Nonetheless, Jared Toby comes set. Runner takes a lead at first in Paradosky in the 1-2. That one runs wide, and it evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Umpire has not fixed the count on the scoreboard, and sure enough, there it is. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I must have imagined one. Toby comes set, and the 2-2. Swung on, a well-hit ball into center. Mikey Felia's got a read on it, however. Gets underneath of it and makes the grab for out number 1. Ben Martinez 0 for 2 on the day now after flying that one out to center. And Hunter Fiducia, the designated hitter, tonight digs in. Hunter Fiducia last night was the catcher for the Rockford Rivets, batting in the 2-hole. Finds himself in the 2-hole again tonight. However, he is the designated hitter. 1 for 5 last night with a run scored. Left-handed hitter stands in, and the lefty Toby deals. It's a fastball that's in the dirt, 1-0. Toby on the season for Bullfrogs has had his up and downs and has registered 6 straight losses, but pitched well in his last appearance against the Wisconsin Woodchucks. 1-0. Fastball that runs in the dirt, 2-0. Started his season out with a win against the Woodchucks, and boy, did he pitch well. A 5-strikeout day, allowing just 1 earned run and 4 hits all the way back on May 30th. Here we are 2 months later, and Toby's still with the team. 2-0 delivery does not come in as Toby throws it back to first to make sure that the base runner in Trevor Paradosky is not going anywhere. Paradosky gets back standing up, no tag from Bourbon. And Toby's got it back, he comes set in the 2-0. Fastball, that one right over Broadway, 2-1. Of course, Hunter Fiducia, despite the fact that he had a tough day yesterday, going just 1 for 5, he's been unreal this season for the Rockford Rivets, batting .372. 2-1. Breaking ball, that one right over the plate, 2-2, evens the count. And that .372, not because he's played in 3 or 4 games. Hunter Fiducia has been around the entire season for the Rockford Rivets team, leads the entire Northwoods League in batting average. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, that one finds the outside corner, and Hunter Fiducia goes down looking. Make it the 4th strikeout of the night for Jared Toby. Not off to a bad start. That brings up Neil Tyrell, the first baseman at Lewis University. Tyrell would score that unearned run in the first inning for the Rockford Rivets, getting on due to a single. Right-handed batter stands in. Toby comes set in the first pitch. Fastball that runs in the dirt, nearly gets away from the catcher Plunkett as well. And it moves the count to a ball and no strikes. Neil Tyrell struggling at times during the season, batting just .236. But has 27 RBIs on the year. Has been a viable early lineup member. For 1-0. That one swung on and fouled straight back into the footing of Neil Tyrell. That's got to hurt. Hobbles out of the batter's box, now hands on knees in the batter's circle. That's how far he's walked from the batter's box. He's in a lot of pain. Fouls it off the bottom of the bat, goes straight down, hits him in his lead foot, that being his left foot, and rolls back into fair territory. Umpire there to call it foul, but he is in pain. Head coach of the Rockford Rivets, Brian Smith, comes over to console him, and it looks like he will finish the at-bat. It's going to be painful, might be sore tomorrow, but he'll be able to play for the rest of the game at least. Still taking his time digging back in. That one really hurt. The right-handed batter digs in. Open stance, waves the bat around. A 1-1 count with 2 outs on the board. Bullfrogs trail 1-0. The 1-1 swung on, hard hit, ball to the third baseman Leckie. He's got it, spinning, throwing in time. A nice stretch and pick from Willie Bourbon at first gets the Bullfrogs out of the frame. They leave one runner stranded, but get out of it. Neil Tyrell grounded out to third. Tip your hat off to both Dan Leckie there and Willie Bourbon, both making solid defensive plays on that one. Stay tuned for the 4th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM. Bullfrogs.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town.
Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
Welcome back to Rivet Stadium. Connor Beniski leading things off for the Bullfrogs, left-handed hitter out of State College of Florida. First one to him, swung on and found a way left side into the bordering concourse, 0-1. Max Bain still out on the mound, deals in the 0-1. It's a fastball wide, 1-1. Scattered crowd here at Rivet Stadium, but by no means empty. Just not as good of a crowd as last night, 1-1. Fastball that just misses the zone low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Of course, last night, Saturday night, superhero night, a lot of fans in attendance, 2-1. Fastball and runs high, 3-1. Connor Beniski gets ahead. Tonight, the Sunday afternoon showdown, Bark in the Park. Bunch of different pups running around the stadium, 3-1. Swung on, line drive, center of the field, base hit for Connor Beniski, and the Bullfrogs grab just their second hit of the game. Beniski coming into the game for the Bullfrogs, struggling a bit at the plate as he was batting below 200, but a well-hit ball into center there gives the Bullfrogs their second hit of the game and just their second base runner as well. So the single to center will bring up Riley Smith, the shortstop. Riley Smith, right-handed batter out of the University of Minnesota. He digs in on a bit of a cold streak, has not registered a hit in 3 games. Max Bain, the right-handed pitcher, comes set. Nods his head, first one. Fastball high and tight, moves the count to a ball and no strikes. Riley Smith on the season batting .287, so these 3-game slump is not quite like the shortstop. The 1-0. Fastball that runs low, 2-0. Bullfrogs trail 1-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. An unearned run in the bottom of the 1st by the Rivets is the lone score of the game. Riley Smith stands in. Max Bain comes set. The 2-0. Fastball that runs in the dirt moves the count to 3 balls and no strikes. Dimensions here at Rockford Stadium, or Rockford, Illinois, Rivet Stadium. 315 down the left field line and 312 down the right field line. Relatively uniform stadium here. Grandstand seating that goes all the way down the right field and left field lines. One of the larger stadiums here in the South Division. 2-0. Runner off from first. Throw down from Michaels, not on target. And Connor Beniski able to steal second, as that one was short-armed from the catcher Logan Michaels. In fact, bounces in the infield grass before it gets to the second baseman Bryn Martinez, who can't handle it, actually has to scamper over towards where he's standing at the second base spot to go pick it up. The second stolen base of the game for the Bullfrogs. Very aggressive here on the base pass here early. The second stolen base. The 2-1. Swung on, a slow bouncer to the shortstop, Paradosky. Picks it up, throw to first, not in time. Riley Smith able to leg that one out for an infield single. Of course, Riley Smith, to end the 1st inning, thought that he had himself an infield single. In fact, yelled at the first base umpire, Harvey, to tell him that he was safe. This time, Harvey not right next to the first base bag, over towards the second base bag, and he tells him, yes, safe this time. And Riley Smith kind of gives him a smile as he starts to take his lead. Runners on the corners as Beniski's able to move over to third with no outs on the board. First pitch into Troy Johnston. Fastball that runs low and in the dirt, 1-0. Just the 3rd hit of the night for the Bullfrogs, and an opportunity to tie things up here. Troy Johnston 1 for 1 on the day. He would steal a base in the 2nd inning as well. Left-handed batter out of Gonzaga stands in, and Bain deals in the 1-0. Fastball that runs high, and Johnston gets ahead in the count, 2-0. Troy Johnston batting .296 on the season coming into the game. Has been a guy that recently for the Frogs has been a hot hitter. As mentioned, coming into the game in his last 10 games, batting .372. At one point this season, Johnston all the way down to .230, but the guy's in form now. Left-handed hitter, just finished up his freshman year at Gonzaga, where he would be named to the West Coast Conference All-Freshman team. Lefty digs in, and Max Bain deals in the 2-0. Swung on and fouled straight back into the backstop netting. Moves the count to 2-1. 323 this past season as a freshman for Gonzaga. And I've mentioned it a few times, and I'm going to stick by my claim. If Troy Johnston, I think, would have played in about 10 more games, a couple more starts, I think he would have been a freshman All-American, and no doubt about it. 3-0 to Johnston. That one runs in the dirt, gets past the catcher. Runner from third, Beniski comes across to score, and Riley Smith advances a bag as well, make it a tie ball game as Beniski comes across the easy way. My apologies, it was actually a 2-1 to Johnston, and so that one running low and in the dirt moves it to 3-1. The American flag in right center field is waving from right field to left field, and a blue sky day. Absolute great day for baseball. Nice breeze here at Rivet Stadium. The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Full count. Bullfrogs tie it up here in the bottom, or rather top of the 4th inning, 1-1. A pass ball scores a runner for the Bullfrogs. 3 hits apiece for both teams. Max Bain trying to get out of the inning. Has a runner in scoring position at second in Riley Smith. Bain comes set. And the payoff. Swung on, well hit ball into center, a base hit. They're going to wave in Riley Smith. Anthony Forte out in center, a long throw ins, not in time. And Riley Smith slides in and scores, giving the Bullfrogs a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. The first lead against this Rockford Rivets team since yesterday in the first inning. Would go up 1-0 in yesterday's game, but the Rockford Rivets would score 10 unanswered. Looked like it might be the same storyline today as the Rivets score an unanswered run in the bottom of the first, but the Bullfrogs, 2 runs here in the top of the 4th inning. They have a 2-1 lead. Still no outs on the board, and Dan Leckie digs in. First one to Leckie. Fastball that runs right over the zone. 0-1. Troy Johnston grabbing himself an RBI single, that being his 31st RBI of the year. That leads the team. Bain comes set, the right-handed pitcher out of Northwood. The 0-1. Breaking ball that drops all the way down below the zone, just above the dirt. 1-1. Dan Leckie out of Lafayette College has proven himself to be a heavy hitter for the Bullfrogs. 3 home runs on the season. Max Bain throws back to first. Johnston slides back in safely. Troy Johnson, you got to worry about him over there on the mound, or rather on the base pass now. Really is probably the most biggest threat for the Bullfrogs now on the base pass. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled away. 1-2. Or I guess it would be biggest threat on the base pass. Most biggest is, I think, not the right grammar. Troy Johnston on the season for the Bullfrogs has stolen just 4 bases, but their leading base stealers are gone. Aaron Pleshner had 16 for the Bullfrogs, and Jones had 11. The 1-2 into Dan Leckie. Breaking ball swung on and fouled straight back, and he stays alive. Aaron Pleshner, of course, we haven't said his name for quite some time. Played in 31 games for the Bullfrogs, and all 31 of those games were in the first half of the season. Was with the Bullfrogs and played in just about every single game besides one. Dan Leckie digs in with a 1-2 count. The delivery. Fastball that is swung on and fouled back. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Of course, Aaron Pleshner, long gone, was a good player for the Bullfrogs. Would bat .277, and as mentioned, at the time had 16 stolen bases. Unreal numbers. Dan Leckie digs back in with an open stance. Troy Johnston takes the lead at first, and the 1-2. Johnston off. It's swung on, a pop-up. Troy Johnston's going to have to get back to first. This first baseman, Neil Tyrell, runs over, gets underneath of it, and grabs out number 1. Troy Johnston turns around and starts to run back, but it's not in time as Tyrell tosses it to his pitcher, Max Bain, who got over to cover for out number 2. A double play there for the Rockford Rivets, exactly what they needed. Put 2 outs on the board, and now nobody on. Dan Leckie, I don't think, got the memo there that Johnston was running. I think he might have forced a swing there to try to complete the hit and run, just trying to get it on the ground, but does the exact opposite. Pops it up into the infield, and Tyrell registers the out easily. So Kyle Bino digs in with 2 outs on the board and nobody on. First one to him. Fastball that is swung on and missed. Kyle Bino would strike out back in the second inning, swinging at the first 3 pitches he saw. Swings at that one as well, so he's 0 for 4 on swinging today. The 0-1. That one goes by wide and moves the count to 1-1. Bino, of course, last night making his re-debut, if you will. Sat out for 10 games for the Bullfrogs due to an injury. Would be named the player of the game, however. 0-1. Swung on, well hit ball left side, and Kyle Bino picking up where he left off, grabs himself a single, make that the 4th hit of just this 4th inning and 5th of the game. Kyle Bino last night 2 for 4 with an RBI. That's why he was named the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game. And Bino, normally a heavy hitter, has the best slug percentage on the team, 6 home runs on the season, but getting it done with singles here against the Rivets, 2 yesterday and 1 here in the 4th. Ben Hart digs in. First one to him. Fastball that's high and at the eyes, 1-0. Ben Hart out of Oakland University, batting .287 on the season, and has 22 RBIs to his name. Bullfrogs looking to score some runs with 2 outs. The 1-0. Swung on and fouled back. That one going into the backstop netting. 1-1. So Dan Leckie, he's the guy that puts 2 outs on the board, hits into the double play. And Ben Hart stands in and awaits. Max Bain comes set, and the 1-1. Breaking ball right over the plate. Moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Ben Hart last night for the Bullfrogs would go 1 for 4. Continuing his good play for the Frogs. As I've mentioned, he's been a good hitter recently. The 1-2. That one bounces across home plate, gets behind the catcher, Logan Michaels. And Michaels was absolutely lost to where that ball went. Bounced in front of him, was able to block it with his chest protector. And then it kind of rolled behind Ben Hart, and Michaels gets behind Ben Hart, but was clueless of where the ball was. No harm done. Benio stays at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The dish from Max Bain. Swung on, a bouncer up the middle of the field. Second baseman has it with the backhand, and Bryn Martinez, realizing he's right next to the second base bag when he gets there, steps on it for out number 3. The Bullfrogs put 2 runs across in the top of the 4th inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM. They lead 2-1.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Wisconsin. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Bottom of the 4th inning, about to get underway. Jared Toby, left-handed pitcher, out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. Still out there. He hasn't pitched all that bad here through 3 frames. We'll see what he can do here in the 4th frame. The Bullfrogs have a 2-1 lead over the Rockford Rivets, plating 2 runs in the top of this past inning. Jared Toby on the season for the Bullfrogs, of course, coming into the game struggling a bit, but has pitched well tonight. So far on the night, his stat line: 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. First one from Toby. Curveball that breaks all the way down into the dirt, and the new batter, Brian Klein, chases it all the way down there as well, swinging and missing, looking silly. 0-1. 0-1 dish. Another breaking ball from Toby, but this one runs inside. A ball and a strike. Brian Klein out of Texas Tech, one of 2 Texas Tech Red Raiders on this starting lineup. The 1-1. Bat breaking ball, rather, and third one of the at-bat from Toby. That one runs low as well. And the count moves to a 2 balls and a strike. Brian Klein did not himself in the lineup card last night for the Rockford Rivets, as the 2-1 is swung on. A fly ball to center. Mikey Folia with a read on it, jogging forward, raising his glove, and out number 1's recorded. So that will bring up Zach Reams. Reams, the left fielder, on the day is 0 for 1 with strikeout swinging back in the 1st inning. Reams digs in, first one to him. Breaking ball, that one runs inside. And the count moves to a ball and no strikes. 1 out on the board, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bullfrogs lead 2-1. The 1-0 swung on and missed, evens the count up, a ball and a strike. Zach Reams last night for the Rockford Rivets would have managed a 1 for 4 day with the run scored. The stocky left-handed pitcher stands in, and the 1-1 from Toby. Swung on, bouncing ball right side, foul, Willie Bourbon, the first baseman, jogging over in foul territory, over by the first base coach to grab that one. But it's well foul. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Zach Reams, he's the second Red Raider on this lineup card, batting .227 on the year. The 0-2. That's a breaking ball. It gets away from Toby. Bounces across home plate. And Toby with a face that kind of says, ugh. Wish that he would have that one back. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Toby, a left-handed pitcher out of Wayne State University, rocks the rec specs. Umpire now says that it's 2-2 with 1 out on the board. Of course, scoreboard's been a bit behind today. 2-2. Fastball. That one runs low as well. And a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Jared Toby, big fan of those rec specs. Rocks them each and every game. Although he has played without them as well. Payoff. Swung on. Ground ball to third. Like he gloves it. A long throw to first. And the stretch is made by Willie Bourbon for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. And a Kean O'Brien will dig in. Kean O'Brien, last night for the Rockford Rivets, managed a 1-for-2 day. Not a bad outing whatsoever with 2 runs scored. Kean O'Brien out of Madison College, from Madison, Wisconsin as well. Just finished up his sophomore year, where he would bat .358. Second best batting average on that team. First one into him. Goes by for a strike, 0-1. However, despite batting .358 at the JUCO level, batting just .200 this season for Madison. The 0-1. Fastball that runs low and evens the count 1-1. This next season, Kean O'Brien will be playing for Kent State. Baseball powerhouse in the MAC Conference. 1-1. Swung on, well hit liner into left. Connor Beniski running forward, dropping down to one knee and making the play. Another nice catch out there from the left fielder, Connor Beniski. And that does it for the top of the, or rather, my apologies, bottom of the 4th inning. Stay tuned for the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Bullfrogs lead 2-1.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Did you know that we here at the O'Connell Pharmacy would mail your prescriptions to you? At the O'Connell Pharmacy, we would like to make things easy for you. The O'Connell Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium. Top of the 5th inning, about to get underway. Max Bain still out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. Max Bain out of Northwood University. Made 17 appearances this past season. No starts. So that's where there was a confusion in the stats book. It says all of them starts, but that's not the case at all. 0 starts, was a reliever, which makes more sense why he had 18 in 1 innings third pitch. This past season at Northwood's a .491 ERA. As mentioned, has turned into a starter here for the Rockford Rivets and hasn't done all that bad. First one into the new batter, Willie Bourbon. It's a fastball in the dirt, 1-0. Max Bain wasting no time, kicks the leg in the 1-0. Swung on, fly ball, foul territory, out of play. That one going past the picnic area that sits behind the grandstand seating on the left side of the stadium here. Moves the count to a ball and 1 strike. Willie Bourbon, his last time up, would go down swinging. The 1-1 from Bain. The fastball, that one in the dirt, 2-1. Max Bain, of course, on the season for the Rockford Rivets coming into this game, supporting a ERA that's set at 6.75. 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Of course, Max Bain has started in just 2 games for the Rivets. and was really rocked his last time out against the Battle Creek Bombers. Bullfrogs got something on the board together in the top half of the fourth. 2-2. That one runs high. A breaking ball that time from Bain, full count. And put 2 runs across, taking a 2-1 lead. And really the first time Bain was kind of rattled out there. 4 hits in that past inning. Payoff pitch. Swung on, a line drive to short. Takes one bounce at him, off the glove, and dribbles into the outfield. That'll be an E6, and Willie Bourbon will take it. He gets on base. A rare error there from Trevor Paradosky. Paradosky had looked good tonight. 3 times Bullfrogs have grounded out to him, but that time it was just hit a little bit too hard that time from Willie Bourbon, and Paradosky can't handle it. Bounces right in front of his glove, and it hits off the side of the webbing and rolls over towards the outfield grass, and it's a base runner. Willie Bourbon takes the lead from first, and Zach Plunkett, the catcher out of the University of Arkansas, digs in. Max Bain comes set, takes a breath, first pitch. Breaking ball right over Broadway, 0-1. Zach Plunkett out of the University of Arkansas sat out this past season due to transfer rules put in by the NCAA, and he transferred in from TCU, was a part of that TCU team that made it all the way to the College World Series. 0-1, swung on, slow grounder to third, throw to second in time, throw to first, got him. 5-4-3 double play for the Rivets, and talk about making up for an error. They do it just like that. Zach Plunkett hits into a double play, and it's 2 outs on the board now. That brings up Mikey Falia. Falia, the center fielder on the night, he's got an error of his own, and really it's a tough error against him as well. It's a line drive into center field, bounces twice, and he's casually jogging in, and at the last second hits an odd patch of grouse out there, and it bounces out of reach of his glove. First one into Falia, swung on, pop-up, foul territory. Right side, tracking over the first baseman, Neil Tyrell, but it falls into the stands. Can't make the play, 0-1. Mikey Falia on the night, 0 for 2, struck out looking in the first, and grounded out to Paradosky at short his last time up in the third. Falia, been a good hitter for the Bullfrogs, leads the team in batting average with 301. Max Bain comes set, kicks his leg, the 0-1. Swung on, ground ball to Paradosky at short. Got it this time, throw to first is low, but Falia has the speed to turn that one into a single. I think Trevor Paradosky there taking his time, making sure that he can grab it, and he takes a bit too much time, and Falia takes advantage of it. Right-handed batter drops the bat, turns on the jets, and manages an infield single. And there's a runner on first now for Connor Beniski, who digs in. Make that the 6th hit of the game for the Bullfrogs. 5 in the past 2 innings. Connor Beniski, 1 for 2 tonight. Managed to single his last time up and stole second. First one to him. Swung on and fouled back. 0-1. A great stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Attendance today, 1038. About 150 less people than yesterday. So not a bad crowd. A 1 pitch from Bain. Runner off. It's high. The throw to second, though, is in time. And Mikey Falia, who leads the team in stolen bases, is caught stealing. That does it for the top of the 5th inning. Mikey Falia caught stealing. Bullfrogs been aggressive on the base pass tonight. Now they are 2 for 3 in stolen bases. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 5th inning. Jared Toby coming back out to deal in some more solid innings. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
It's Cellcom's Customer Appreciation Celebrations. Get smartphones from the top 2 brands for just a penny each, along with food prizes and sales on accessories. Cellcom, built for you. Available day of event only. New 2-year activation qualified upgrade required. Restrictions apply. Visit cellcom.com/celebrate for details.
Bottom of the 5th inning, about to get underway, and the Bullfrogs have a 2-1 lead. The Frogs looking for their first win against the Rockford Rivets all season, as they are 0-7 this year. It's a battle of the top against the bottom battle, or rather the battle against the top team in the division and the team in the cellar. The Green Bay Bullfrogs, of course, 9th in the Northwoods League currently in standings. In the Rockford Rivets, they have a half-game lead over the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors in the South. Jared Toby out on the mound still, and due up for the Rockford Rivets is Anthony Forte. It's a fastball that runs high and inside, and Anthony Forte just barely gets away from that one. Next one in, fastball in the dirt. Moves the count to a ball and a strike as the batter in Kean O'Brien, or rather Anthony Forte, just gets a piece of it on that first one. So a 1-1 count, the dish. Swung on, popped up foul, 1-2. Jared Toby, left-handed pitcher out of Wayne State, coming in for the Bullfrogs at a 6.24 ERA. Had a good appearance his last time out against the Woodchucks. In 6 innings, allowed 4 earned runs. The 1-2 shows bunt, but it finds the outside corner, strike 3. Or rather, my apologies, scoreboard again gets confused. It's the second out. Anthony Forte kind of shakes his finger to the home plate umpire, Ordway. And Ordway, fooled by the scoreboard as well, rings him up, but the count moves to 2-2. That one swung on, ground ball to first. Willie Bourbon picks it up on the first bounce, runs over to the first base bag, and beats out Anthony Forte. So a bit embarrassing there for the home plate umpire, Ordway, and a bit embarrassing for myself. I thought it was strike 3. Anthony Ordway thought it was strike 3, the home plate umpire, and Anthony Forte, the hitter, said, no, that's only strike 2. Swings in the next one, though, and it's a ground out to first base, so he goes down either way. That brings up Logan Michaels, the 8-hole hitter and the catcher. Michaels on the day 0 for 1. Would fly out to left field his last time up. So far on the night, the Rockford Rivets have just managed 3 hits. First one into Michaels. Fastball that finds the upper outside portion, 0-1. Anthony Forte, he's the guy that just grounded out to first, and Logan Michaels out of Madison College stands in. Breaking ball from Toby, breaks all the way down below the zone, and it moves the count even, 1-1. Logan Michaels batting .300 on the season. 5 RBIs to his name. Toby deals in that one. Swung on, a blooper into a right shallow center field. So shallow, in fact, that Ben Hart tracks back and makes the over-the-shoulder grab for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. That brings up the 9-hole hitter, Trevor Paradosky. Trevor Paradosky, the 9-hole hitter, but a solid hitter at that. Bats .274, by no means the worst batting average on the team, but day in and day out, he seems to find himself in the 9-hole. Interesting decision from the coaches of the Rivets. Of course, the coaches of the Rivets, Brian Smith, has had a solid season. Whatever he's doing is working. First one into Paradosky. That one goes by for a ball. The 1-0. That one swung on and fouled away left side into the grandstand seating. 1-1. And not only does he know what he's doing here in the Northwoods League because, well, it's his second season as at the helm of the Rivets, but he's been around the Northwoods League. 1-1. Swung on, slow grounder to first. Toby over to cover, beats out the runner by a step. Nice play from the first baseman, Bourbon, and Jared Toby to come over to cover. Slow grounder to first base. Willie Bourbon has to take a few steps to his right of the bag, and Toby to sprint over to cover. Just gets there in time. Underhand toss from Bourbon, and Jared Toby puts him down in order for the second straight inning. That does it for the bottom of the 5th. Stay tuned for the 6th. The Bullfrogs have a 2-1 lead. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin. Every Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brewpub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Wisconsin is this: without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to Rivet Stadium, top of the 6th inning. Still out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets is Max Bain, and the leadoff man, Connor Beniski, swings at the first one and misses and goes down in the count 0-1. Connor Beniski on the night 1 for 2, managed a single back in the 4th. The 1-0, or rather 0-1, swung on and found away left side as the scoreboard here again gets behind 0-2. No outs on the board, nobody on here in the top of the 6th. Beniski digs in, and the 0-2 for Max Bain. Fastball that runs high, moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. No outs on the board, nobody on. The 1-2 delivery. That one is swung on and missed, gets past the catcher though, and Connor Beniski realizes it, takes off for first, and he'll get to first the school ground way. Swinging strike 3, and the ball bounces all the way back to the backstop. Catcher Logan Michaels had no clue where it was, and Beniski heads up play, sprints to first. No throw from the catcher Michaels, as he could not find the ball. Got all the way back to the backstop and found, in fact, bounces back to the backstop netting. And because of that, he was looking on the ground and not looking up. And that's the reason Beniski gets on over at first. So runner on here in the 6th frame. And Riley Smith digs in. He's 1 for 2 today. Managed a base hit his last time up. First one to him. Broken back. Liner back to the pitcher. Max Bain grabs it. Throws it to first. Beniski slips. The throw to first is not caught. Beniski gets up and slides back in safely, dodging the tag. Beniski had given up on the play, had taken off for first because of the crack of the bat. Max Bain grabs it at first. The throw there is in time, on target, but it just bounces out of the glove of Neil Tyrell. Beniski gets back up off of the dirt and slides back in safely. E3. Could have been a double play, instead an out on the board, and Beniski still on first. Tough play there for Max Bain, did everything right. Troy Johnston digs in now. He's 2 for 2. And a ball from the the Rivets bullpen travels all the way down behind home plate, so time is called. Max Bain comes back set. We'll see if he can bounce back off of the error. Beniski takes a lead at first. The first one to Johnson. That swung on, a frozen rope into right center. Anthony Forte jogging over, raises the glove, and out number 2 is recorded. Connor Beniski, granted, shouldn't even be at first base as he got on off of a swinging strikeout that got past Michaels. So that was an opportunity to just retire the batter that should have already been done. I mean, really, it should be 3 outs on the board here and out of the frame. Instead, it's Dan Leckie who digs in. Johnston lines out to center, so he's now 2 for 3 tonight. Dan Leckie's 0 for 2. He hit into a double play his last time up. First one, 2-0. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Dan Leckie on the season for the Bullfrogs, batting .260. Has managed 14 RBIs in about 21 games played. The 0-1 from Max Bain. Fastball and runs in the dirt. The count moves to a ball and a strike. Pitchers warming up in both bullpens, as you can imagine. Jared Toby and Max Bain's pitch count getting up there. Max Bain currently at 88 pitches. Leckie digs in and awaits. Bain comes set. Right-handed pitcher takes a breath, then the 1-1. Fastball that runs high, moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. If Bain can get out of this frame here early, we could see him for one more inning for the Rivets, as he has pitched well. Bain comes set. And the dish. That one comes across low, a ball. Runner at first. Bullfrogs have a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Kyle Bino stands on deck for the Bullfrogs. And Dan Leckie stands in. A 3-1 count. Max Bain comes set. And the dish. That one runs wide for ball 4. And Dan Leckie works himself the walk. Notably, the first walk of the game from Max Bain, who has just absolutely dealt out there on the mound for the Rivets. Has allowed just 6 hits and 2 earned runs tonight. That being his first walk. He struck out 6 before walking that first batter. Has pitched well, and of course all of this coming after the last time that he managed to start, where he would get the loss in a blowout victory for the Rockford, or rather the Battle Creek Bombers. Kyle Bino digs in with 2 runners on and 2 outs on the board. First one to him. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Kyle Bino, of course, leads this Green Bay Bullfrogs teams in home runs, has managed 6 on the season, and participated in the Home Run Derby. The lone Bullfrogs that was invited to the All-Star festivities, as Brad Hamilton was invited as well, but could not make it. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball. That one finds the corner. 0-2. But 2 Bullfrogs players invited to participate in, of course, the Major League Dream Showcase. I'm surprised that there's not more, to be honest with you. Mikey Folia is batting over 300 on the entire season. But instead, they go to Riley Smith and Connor Wallershine. Bino digs in. Down on the count, 0-2. 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on. The dish. That one runs high and wide and moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Bino with 22 RBIs on the year to go along with his .257 batting average. Youngstown State product. 6'4", 195 stocky batter awaits. And the 1-2. Swung on, slicer to the second baseman. Catches it on the hop. The throw to first in time. And Kyle Bino grounds out to second for out number 3. Bullfrogs leave 2 runners stranded. That does it for the top of the 6th inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. Jared Toby's got 1 more in him. We'll see how he can do. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Want that new home? You can own it. NEW Credit Union has several mortgage options to choose from. Along with our 5- and 7-year balloon and 10-year fixed terms, NEW Credit Union now offers a 15-year fixed term. Find out how to get pre-approved for your home loan. Ask one of our knowledgeable mortgage specialists. Call 800-924-1250 today. That's 800-924-1250. Offices in Oconto Falls, Surrey, and Oconto. NEW Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender, serving all who live or work in Brown, Marinette, Shawano, and Oconto counties. Federally insured by the NCUA. All loans subject to approval. Visit www.newcu.org for more details. Choose your home. At NEW Credit Union, we can help you own it.
Welcome back to Rivet Stadium. Bottom of the sixth frame about to get underway. Jared Toby still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. The left-handed pitcher has not looked all that bad tonight. Jared Toby's stat line so far through 5 complete sits at currently 4 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs, and just 3 hits allowed. A run did come across in the bottom of the first inning for the Rockford Rivets, an unearned one, as it was an error against center fielder Mikey Falia. That would be the 6th unearned run just in this series against the Rockford Rivets. And due up for the Rockford Rivets to lead things off will be the leadoff man himself, Bryn Martinez. 0 for 2 tonight, shows bunt, but pulls it away. It's a breaking ball that runs high, 1-0. The Bullfrogs would post 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning, however, and that's where we are now. 2-1. It's been a pitcher's duel. 1-0. Fastball that runs low. Hits the zone, however. Evens the count up 1-1. Bryn Martinez 0 for 2 tonight, coming off of a game where he went 4 for 6. Not a bad day. Struck out his first time up. Swings at the 1-1. A fly ball to center. Mikey Falia, I don't think had to move at all. Just raises his glove and out number 1 is recorded. Jared Toby has currently retired the last 9 batters he faced. 2 perfect innings in the 4th and the 5th, and then after Trevor Paradosky led off the 3rd inning with a single, he would retire the next 3, leaving him stranded. Hunter Fiducia digs in now, swings at the first one, base hit. It's a line drive into right field that just makes it into the outfield grass. A blooper that finds the gap between first and second. And there goes the perfect 9 in a row as Hunter Fiducia manages a single. Just the 4th of the game for the Rockford Rivets, after Bryn Martinez flew out to center field. Neil Tyrell digs in. 1 for 2 today. First one to him. Swung on, popped up foul, out of play and onto the concourse. Nearly hitting some spectators there, and that could have been dangerous. 0-1. Neil Tyrell would have managed that single back in the 1st inning and then come around to score off of an unearned run. Or rather, score an unearned run off of an error. 0-1. Fastball that runs wide, a ball and a strike. Neil Tyrell out of Lewis University, batting .236 on the season. 6'1", stocky batter. He awaits. Jared Toby comes set and deals. 1-1 pitch, swung on, well hit ball into the bullpen of the Rivets. Look out. Hot shot of a line drive over there. Bouncing towards the dugouts, or rather bullpen, I should say, of the Rivets. Their pitchers have to hop up and dodge it. No one's harmed, however. 1-2. The dish. Fastball that runs wide and moves the count to 2 balls and strikes. Some defensive arrangements here in the top, or rather bottom of the 6th inning for the Bullfrogs, as Ben Challey is now out in left field, as Connor Beniski would limp to the ice machine here at Rivet Stadium between innings. 2-2 pitch. That one swung on and found away right side. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not a bad crowd whatsoever here at Rivet Stadium for the 4:05 matinee. 2-2. Breaking ball swung on, blooper into right field. Another base hit. And that'll be all it is, as the runner at second will stay at second. Or rather, runner at first moves to second but stays there. A quicker base runner might have tried to test the arm of Troy Johnston. And so runners at first and second now, after the Rockford Rivets have strung together 2 hits here in the 6th. Just their 4th and 5th hits of the game. And Zach Plunkett, the catcher, walks up to the mound to talk with Jared Toby after he allows 2 singles in a row. 2 runners on, 1 out on the board. The Bullfrogs discussing who's going to come over and cover, as they have an opportunity for a double play now. Brian Klein, the 3rd baseman, digs in. Left-handed batter awaits. Klein out of Texas Tech, batting .290 on the year. First one to him. Breaking ball. That one runs inside. Moves the count to 1-2. Would not be surprised to see Zach Plunkett try a snap throw in this situation with just 1 out on the board. He's been solid at it this season. Why not? 1-0. Swung on and fouled straight back. Moves the count even. A ball and 1 strike. Brian Klein, the Texas Tech product, this past season for the Red Raiders, would appear in 21 games with a .266 batting average. He swings at the 2-0, a frozen rope in the left. Base hit. They're going to hold off the runner at third, however, as Ben Challey got a nice read on it, picked it up on the skip, and threw it in on a crew hop. And third base coach for the Rockford Rivets, head coach, in fact, Brian Smith, says, hold up there. We're going to hold you. So 3 singles in a row now. Not much to any of them, as everyone has just advanced 1 back. Runners at first, second, and third for Zach Reams. The Texas Tech Red Raider, hefty left-handed batter, stands in. 1 out on the board. The Bullfrogs have a 2-1 lead. First one to Reams. Fastball wide, moves the count to 1-0. Outside infielders just off of the infield grass, with the middle infielders playing at normal depth. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Snap throw to third. They got him. I told you to watch out for it. Zach Plunkett has been so good at it this season. He can throw over to the third off of his knees, and you won't expect it. If you don't go back to the third base bag each and every time, he's going to get you, and he does it right there. His defensive play is impeccable as a catcher, and it puts the second out on the board. 1-1. That one runs high, moves the count to 2-1. Jared Toby thought that was strike number 2, kind of leans in there, and the count moves to 2-1. Toby comes set, holding the ball behind his back hit. Bullfrogs trying to preserve this 2-1 lead. Toby deals in the 2-1. It's a fastball in the dirt, and the count moves to 3-1. Snap throw to third keeps the Bullfrogs in it here. Puts the second out on the board, and the infielders move back to normal depth with runners at first and second. The 3-1 from Toby. Swing and a miss. Full count. Left stranded over there in third. Looking silly. Doesn't even attempt to slide it back in, as he was clueless of that one coming in. Full count. 2 outs. Payoff. That one's in the dirt. A solid job by Plunkett to block it, as if that one gets past him, it might score a run. Instead, it's a walk, and it puts runners at first, second, and third. Bases juiced. Brian Klein at second, Neil Tyrell at third. And of course, Reams now at first after the walk. That brings up Kean O'Brien. Not the worst layout here for the Bullfrogs, as Brian is struggling this season, batting just .200. First one to him. Fastball inside, 1-0. Or rather, not the worst situation, I should say. See how it plays out. O'Brien 0 for 2 today. 1-0. Swung on, fly ball to shallow center. Running forward, Falia raising the glove. Out number 3, covering a lot of ground out there in center field. Has been impressive over the past couple of days, and the Bullfrogs get out of the jam. Solid pitching from Jared Toby. We'll see if we see him again. He's all the way up to 84 pitches, and so he can come out for another. We'll see what the Bullfrogs coaching staff decide to do. Stay tuned for the 7th inning. The Bullfrogs holding on to a 2-1 lead. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network 107.1 FM.
American Inn Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Top of the 7th frame about to get underway. And there's a new pitcher out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. It will be J.C. Hughes. 6'1", 190 left-handed pitcher out of Rock Valley Community College, just a freshman. Due up for the Bullfrogs is Ben Hart, the 7-hole hitter. First one to him. Fastball right over the plate, 0-1. Ben Hart watches that one go all the way into the glove of the catcher, Logan Michaels. I think he had the take sign on just to see what happened. A changeup that time that dropped way down there. I mean, I think that one was slower than my fastball. That's how slow that was. Moves the count to 1-1. J.C. Hughes deals it in. Another changeup that runs inside, and the count moves to 2-1. Of course, after you see Max Bain pitch, almost, I guess, anyone's fastball seems much slower. As Bain dealt in some fastballs, I mean, he was hitting 88, 90 easily. There's no gun here at Rivet Stadium, so you don't get the official numbers. 2-1. Another fastball, that one runs high, and it was actually a 3-1 pitch as the scoreboard gets behind on us again. But it's just the second walk from Rivet's pitchers as Ben Hart manages to work one there. Willie Bourbon, the first baseman, now digs in. Bourbon 0 for 2 tonight, but did get on base back in the 5th inning due to a E6. First one into Willie Bourbon. Fastball right over the plate, 0-1. Bourbon last night for the Bullfrogs would go 0 for 3, and he's 0 for 2 today. Still looking for that first hit against the Rivets in this series. Left-handed batter out of Northwestern awaits in the 0-1. It's a fastball that runs wide, and so a ball, a strike, no outs on the board with Ben Hart over at first. A 1-1. Swung on. Line drive, foul territory left side. Not the hardest hit ball there from Willie Bourbon. Just kind of makes contact with it and rolls it over towards the bullpen of the Rivets, where they have a right-hander warming up. So a 1-2 count after the foul off. Zach Plunkett stands on deck, the 9-hole hitter. The 1-2. Swung on. Line drive to right. Tracking over, Kean O'Brien. That drops fair into the gap. Rounding seconds, Ben Hart, they're going to wave him home. Rounding thirds, Ben Hart. Willie Bourbon's going for a triple. Ben Hart scores, and Willie Bourbon slides in for an RBI triple, and the Bullfrogs take a 3-1 lead. What a hit from Willie Bourbon. Finds the gap between right and center. Kean O'Brien in a dead sprint to try to track it down. Off the bat, it looked like it could be a play for O'Brien, but he doesn't have the wheels to catch up to it. Has to chase it all the way to the wall, and Bourbon manages a triple because of it. Zach Plunkett digs in with no outs on the board and another run just 90 feet away. First one to him. Breaking ball that hits the outside corner, 0-1. Frogs extend their lead here in the top of the 7th. They now lead 3-1. 0-1. Swung on, a fly ball into left center field. Tracking over the left fielder and the center fielder. The catch is made. Willie Bourbon tags up, comes across, slides in, and scores, and make it a 4-1 ball game now for the Bullfrogs, as they have exploded here now late in this game. Of course, building off of that momentum from Jared Toby, who left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th inning. An RBI triple from Willie Bourbon, and then a sacrifice fly from Zach Plunkett. Ben Hart, or rather, really Willie Bourbon, there we go, tags up and scores for the Bullfrogs. And Mikey Falia, the leadoff man, digs in. First one to him. Fastball that goes by for a strike, 0-1. J.C. Hughes trying to bounce back, just one out on the board, 0-1. Swung gone, slow grounder to third. Brian Klein has it, the throw to first in time, beats Falia by 2 steps, and Falia drops to 1-4 on the day. That brings up Connor Beniski, 2 outs on the board, nobody on here in the top of the 7th inning. Beniski 1 for 3 tonight. Or actually, there will be a change, and it will be Ben Challey who digs in. Of course, we saw Connor Beniski go in and grab some ice between the last inning, so his days come to a close. First one to Ben Challey. Fastball that goes across for a strike, 0-1. Ben Challey would get the nod in left field yesterday for the Bullfrogs, but would go 0 for 4. 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Ben Challey on the season for the Bullfrogs, struggling a bit at the plate, coming into the game batting just 184. The 0-2. Swung on, ground ball left side. There's a base hit for Ben Challey. Now 1 for 5 against the Rivets in this series. And there's a runner at first now with 2 outs on the board for Riley Smith, the shortstop, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Ben Challey over at first, a late addition to this team, if you could say. Started the year out on a temporary contract, but was not invited back to the team after his contract came to an end. They were in desperate need of some more positional players, so he got the call. Lives in Franklin, Tennessee, was working at a meat factory this summer. And the second he got the call, 2 hours later, was in the car driving up here to play for the Bullfrogs. And there you go, making the most of it. Gets an opportunity to come in to hit for Connor Beniski, who goes down with an injury and makes the most of it. Grabs himself a single. First one by Riley Smith finds the zone, 0-1. J.C. Hughes comes set in the 0-1. Swung on, ground ball left side. That one finds the gap between third and short, and to make it 2 singles in a row. Diving to his right is Trevor Paradosky. He is able to make contact with the ball with his glove, but can't put his mitt on it. Even if he does field that there, I don't think there's any shot that his throw to first is going to beat out Riley Smith. So make it the 9th hit of the game for the Bullfrogs. And Riley Smith now 2 for 4 today. And with runners at first and second, the cleanup man, Troy Johnston, digs in. Johnston 2 for 3 today with an RBI. First one to him. Breaking ball that drops all the way into the dirt. 0-1. Willie Bourbon leading this inning off after the walk from Ben Hartz with a triple. That triple his first of the season. The 1-0 to Johnston is a fastball that hits the inside corner of the zone and evens the count up, a ball and a strike. There's 2 outs on the board, and there's runners at first and second. Bullfrogs with a 4-1 lead. J.C. Hughes trying to get out of the frame here. Checks the runner at second in the 1-1. Swung on, ground ball to first. Takes a big bounce, an underhand toss to the pitcher. In time, beats out step as Johnston does not have the wheels to beat out J.C. Hughes to the bag. That does it for the top of the 7th inning. The Bullfrogs put 2 runs across. An RBI triple from Willie Bourbon and a sac fly from Zach Plunkett gives the Bullfrogs a 4-1 lead. On to the bottom of the 7th we go, and it'll be Jared Toby who comes out to try to give another inning of good work for the Bullfrogs. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Hi, folks. This is David from Witt's Piggly Wiggly in Oconto Falls. Are you sick of rising gas prices? Well, at Witt's, we have a solution. When you purchase qualified groceries with blue shelf stickers, and there's hundreds throughout our store, you build up discounts for 15 gallons of gas on your club card. Then, when you fill up at our Pig Stop pumps, just scan your card and watch the gas price drop. So scan your card, shop the blue stickers, and save money on gas at the Pig in Oconto Falls.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium, bottom of the 7th inning, about to get underway. 7th inning stretch just finished playing, so I hope that you went out to your refrigerators, your cabinets, whatever you were at, whether if you had some peanuts in your car, sunflower seeds, I just hope you got a snack. But I'm happy that you're back because the Bullfrogs have a 4-1 lead. Bottom of the 7th inning, about to get underway. Anthony Forte leads things off for the Rivets. First pitch to him. Breaking ball right over the zone, 0-1. Still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs is Jared Toby. Left-handed pitcher out of Wayne State, has pitched great tonight for the Bullfrogs. Arguably has been his best start. 0-1, swing and a miss. Fastball that's high, and Anthony Forte chases it all the way up there, missing late. And the count moves to 0-2. Forte 0 for 2 tonight, with a strikeout back in the 2nd inning and a ground out to first his last time up. 0-2. Swung on, a fly ball into center field. Mikey Falia has a read on it, raises his glove up, and grabs out number 1. The Rockford Rivets would load the bases twice in the 6th inning, but could not play to run. They load the bases, and a snap throw from Zach Plunkett would get the runner out at 3rd. That would put runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 outs on the board. And then Jared Toby would walk Zach Reams, loading the bases again, and Kean O'Brien would dig in and fly out to center. A nice play from Mikey Falia as well to close out that inning. But the Bullfrogs left them stranded. The bases loaded. An impressive defensive showing compared to last night, of course, when they lost 10-1. First one into the new batter, Logan Michaels, high and tight, 1-0. 1-0 delivery. That swung on, a pop-up. Ben Hart, the second baseman, behind the second base bag, raises his glove and makes the squeeze for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, and Trevor Paradosky digs in now. Trevor Paradosky on the day is 1 for 2. Managed to single in the 3rd inning, and then would ground out to the first baseman his last time up. Toby pitch count sits at 89, and so if he can get out of this frame, he might come back for another inning of work. First one into the new batter, Trevor Paradosky, a breaking ball that runs high, 1-0. Trevor Paradosky, the 9-hole hitter, batting .274 on the year. Texas Tech product awaits the 1-0. Fastball that's in the dirt moves the count to 2-0. Nice crowd here at Rivet Stadium. And it's always a nice time when it's a Sunday game because you get the earlier showdowns when it's a 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock game. And so at the end of the game, it's still light out. 2-0. That one swung on and found a way left side. Moves the count to 2-1. Me personally, I'm a big fan of watching baseball with the light of the sun. A lot of people like the under the lights feel of a baseball game. 2-1. That one just misses high. Thought it was in there for a strike. Instead, it misses just a bit high and wide. 3-1. But me, I'm a big afternoon baseball fan guy. Game's over. You still got some time to catch the 7 o'clock Sports Center. 3-1. Fastball that just misses low. Jared Toby thought that he had himself a strike and is kind of standing out there on the mound staring at the home plate umpire Ordway, saying, where was that one? Instead, it's ball 4, and it's another walk. Toby has now walked 3 tonight, as Bryn Martinez, the leadoff man, digs in. Martinez 0 for 3 tonight, but was dangerous last night, a 4 for 6 day. First one into Martinez, swung on line, driving to left, base hit. Well hit ball by Martinez, but it's straight at the left fielder, Ben Shalley. Scooped it up on the first bounce, so a single that moves 1 runner over is all it is, but it's 2 runners on here in the 7th. And it'll bring up the most deadly man in the lineup for the Rockford Rivets as well, Hunter Fiducia. Hunter Fiducia on the season batting .366 coming into the game. 40 games played, has managed 8 home runs and 36 RBIs. He represents the tying run. Toby trying to get out of the inning. Pitch count getting up there at this point. First one to Freducia. Fastball wide, and the count moves to 1-2. Got the Bullfrogs out of a bind in the bottom of the 6th inning. Can he do it again? 2 outs on the board, runners at first and second. The Bullfrogs have a 4-1 lead. Toby nods his head, comes set, checks the runner at second. Gives him another glance. The 1-0. Fastball that runs low, and he falls behind 2-0. There is a right-handed pitcher in Nick Parr warming up in the bullpen for the Bullfrog. So we'll see who they go to after this. Likely will be the last inning for Jared Toby at this point. 2-0 from Toby. Swung on a pop-up. Foul territory, out of play, however. And that's going to land right in front of our press box here. And it moves the count to 2-1. Toby gets one back. Hunter Freducia, this past season, playing his college ball for Louisiana State Units, but will be playing for LSU come next season. 2-1. Swung on. Ground ball to second. Ben Hart has it. The throw to first in time and on target. Out number 3, Jared Toby does it again. Leaves 2 runners stranded, and his day has come to a close. Gets a high five from his head coach, Chris Sabo, and his night comes to a close. We'll give you a stat line before we go away. 7 innings on the mound, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Stay tuned for the 8th frame. The Bullfrogs have a 4-1 lead, looking for their first win over the Rivets. You're listening to 107.1 FM, the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Tri-City Glass and Doors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960. Specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts. Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome back to Rockford, Illinois, here at Rivet Stadium. The Bullfrogs have a 4-1 lead, and there's some changes in the lineup here for the Rockford Rivets. Zach Bailey moves to third, Brian Klein moves to second, and Bryn Martinez will be the shortstop tonight. Or rather, some more changes here, all sorts of changes here for the Rivets as they try to grab a win against the Bullfrogs. Trevor Paradosky moves to first. So Paradosky moves from short to first. Brian Klein moves from third to second. Bryn Martinez moves from second to short. And Zach Bailey comes in to play third base. So Zach Bailey batting for Neil Tyrell when we come back around. I know it's a bit confusing, but we got to tell you where it is, and I think that's where we got. There's also a new pitcher out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets, so make that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different positional changes here for the Rockford Rivets as Mike Kogut out on the mound now for the Rivets. Right-handed hurler, tall, stocky frame. First pitch into Dan Leckie, the leadoff man. It swung on, a slicing pop-up. First baseman Trevor Paradosky tracking back, gets underneath of it, and makes the grab for out number 1. So Mike Kogut, the sophomore out of South Suburban College, stands at 6'5", 250. So Kogut out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. Right-handed pitcher retires the first batter he faces, the South Suburban College product. The righty comes set, kicks the leg, the first one to Kyle Binyo. Fastball that runs wide, 1-0. Kyle Binyo tonight for the Bullfrogs. Coming into the at-bat is 1 for 3, manages single in the 4th inning. The 1-0, that one runs low as well, and so Binyo gets ahead, 2-0. Bullfrogs with a 4-1 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. Jared Toby getting his Bullfrogs out of some jams late. 2-0. Fastball that runs in the dirt, a 3-0 count. 1 out on the board, nobody on. Scoreboard, again as always, a bit confused here at Rivet Stadium. Says that it's 2-2. That's not right. A 3-0 count. Mike Kogut out there on the mound, comes set, and the 3-0. Fastball that runs high, ball 4, and Kyle Bino works the walk, getting on base for the 2nd time tonight. Ben Hart, the second baseman, digs in now for the Bullfrogs. He's 0 for 2. Did work the walk back in the 7th inning and would come around to score. The Bullfrogs posting 2 runs in this past inning. An RBI triple from Willie Bourbon, his first triple of the year, and then a sac fly from Zach Plunkett. Ben Hart digs in and awaits. Mike Kogut kicks the leg, first pitch. Fastball, that one hits the zone right over the plate, 0-1. Kogut deals in the 1-1. That one goes by for a strike, 1-2. 1 out on the board, and there's a runner at first. 4-1 game in favor of the Bullfrogs, looking for their first win over the Rivets. The 0-2, and that one runs in the dirt, as I'm continue to be quite confused with this scoreboard here. And so, count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Mike Kogut, out there on the mound, comes set, and deals in the 1-2. That one runs wide, and it moves the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kogut comes set, checks the runner at first. And the 2-2. Fastball, and then runs in the dirt. Full count now after Ben Hart went down in the count, 0-2. So he's worked his way back, a full count, 1 out on the board, and a runner at first. Frogs scoring 2 runs in the top of the 7th frame to give them a 4-1 lead. Payoff. Swung gone and fouled straight back into the backstop netting. Count remains. Ben Hart batting .287 on the season coming into the series with 22 RBIs. Hart last night would have managed 1 single in the game. Right-handed batter out of Oakland University stands in. Kogut comes set, and the payoff. Fastball and runs in the dirt, ball 4. Make it 2 straight walks now from Mike Kogut with runners at first and second. It brings up Willie Bourbon. And Bourbon, of course, in this past inning, he hit the RBI triple, his first triple of the season. Left-handed hitter out of Northwestern University. On the season for the Bullfrogs, batting just .173. This past season for the Northwestern Wildcats would have his struggles, batting just .164. And all of that coming after a freshman campaign where he would have a breakout season, batting .254. Left-handed batter stands in. Mike Kogut comes set, checks the runner at second, and Bino and deals. First one to Bourbon is swung on and fouled straight back, 0-1. Good crowd here at Rivet Stadium, and a great day for baseball. Blue skies, slight breeze from right to left field. Don't think you could ask for a better showdown. Of course, last night was a little chilly here at Rivet Stadium, but Bark in the Park night, perfect temperature for it as well. Cool 70s. 0-1. Comes in from Mike Kogut. It's a fastball, or rather a breaking ball, that last moment dips all the way down into the dirt. And Willie Bourbon has to step aside to avoid being hit. Count moves to a ball and a strike. 1 out on the board, runners at first and second. Bullfrogs with a 4-1 lead. They've out-hit the Rivets 9-7. A 1-1. Swung on. Line drive middle of the field. Base hit. Gets past the shortstop, Brandon Martinez. Rounding third is Kyle Bino. He comes across to score, and the Bullfrogs take a 5-1 lead. RBI single from Willie Bourbon. He's now 2 for 4 today with 2 RBIs, and it moves the runner in Ben Hart all the way over to third. So Kyle Benio comes across to score, and runners on the corners now for the Bullfrogs, with the catcher, Zach Plunkett, digging in. Not a great start for the right-handed pitcher on the mound, Mike Kogut. Retires the first batter he sees with the pop-up, but the Bullfrogs managed to get a run across. 2 walks and then a single scores a run. Zach Plunkett 0 for 3 today, but managed a sacrifice fly RBI his last time up. Right-handed batter out of Arkansas digs in. First one to him. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Coming into the game for the Rockford Rivets, Mike Kogut hadn't been the worst option in the pen. Kogut, the righty, comes set and deals in the 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball, check swing, found the zone anyway. 0-2. Zach Plunkett digs back in. An 0-2 count. 1 out on the board. Runners on the corners. The righty in. Mike Kogut comes set. Nods his head, the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Drop strike 3. Doesn't matter as there's a runner over there at first. And it moves nobody over. Instead, it puts 2 outs on the board. So 2 outs, and we're back up to the top. Mikey Falia digs in as the 9-hole hitter Zach Plunkett goes down swinging for a second straight time today. Mikey Falia, or rather second time today, not second straight time. Mikey Falia, he's 1 for 4 today with a strikeout and a single. Kogut out on the mound, comes set, kicks the leg, first pitch. Swing and a miss. Big swing from Mikey Falia there, but just underneath of it. Moves the count to 0-1. Kogut coming into the game for the Rockford Rivets. So 13.50 ERA. Really struggled. That one gets away from the catcher. And Mike, he slides over towards the dugout of the Bullfrogs, picking up the ball, and the runner at third, and Ben Hart will elect to stay at third. The runner in first, and Willie Bourbon, does advance to second, however. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Mikey Falia. Falia looking to grab his 16th RBI of the season. 2 runners in scoring position, a 1-1 count, 2 outs on the board. The dish. Swing and a miss, 1-2. This is just the 3rd appearance for Kogut. And 1 good appearance, but was kind of rocked his last time up. In 2 2/3 innings, has allowed 4 runs, 4 earned runs, in fact, walking 3 and striking out 4. The righty comes set, and the 1-2. Runs wide, evens the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Staying on deck for the Bullfrogs is Ben Challey, who, of course, managed a single in his first at-bat. And Mike Kogut comes set, trying to get out of the frame unscathed, rather than that just 1 run. 2-2. Now one's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Ben Hart off from third. He comes across, sliding for run number 6 for the Bullfrogs. And Willie Bourbon advances 1 bag, and it's looking good for the Frogs now. They lead 6-1 here in the top of the 8th inning. That's the 2nd run that has come across for the Bullfrogs. Ben Hart scores off of the passed ball. And Kyle Benio, who led off his day, or rather at bat with a walk, would come around to score off of an RBI from Willie Bourbon. So Bourbon moves over to third with 2 outs on the board. A full count. Payoff. Runs high for ball 4 and make it the 3rd batter that the righty up there on the mound, Mike Kogut, has walked. And the Rivets are going to let him try to get out of the frame. But it's 2 runs that have come across for the Bullfrogs here in the top of the 8th inning. They lead 6-1. 10 hits tonight for the Bullfrogs to 7 for the Rockford Rivets. Both teams with 1 error. Runners on the corners for Ben Challey. First one to him. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Ben Challey, talked with yesterday, said that he's kind of notorious for having slow starts. during his baseball career, so a temporary contract at the beginning of the season, not the best thing that he's heard of, as he would struggle batting just 174 in those first 10 games. First one to him after the swing and a miss, goes by for a strike, 0-2. This is just his 5th game played in a Bullfrogs uniform. Managed a single already today. 0-2. Gets away from the catcher. Bourbon off. Throw home, not in time, as Bourbon slides in safely. The catcher, Logan Michaels, doing anything he can to try to get the out there. Dives on the ball and launches a throw to his pitcher, Mike Kogut, who comes over to cover. And by launches, I mean these guys are just 10 yards apart from each other, and he throws them probably the hardest throw he possibly can, and Kogut just can't handle it. Has to throw his glove up to try to make the catch, and it bounces off of his glove and into the dirt. The 3rd run comes across for the Bullfrogs. They take a 7-1 lead. The 1-2, that runs high, and the count moves 2-2. Mike Kogut having a really tough time trying to find the zone here. A wild pitch scores Willie Bourbon. And the 3rd run of the inning comes across. They lead 7-1. 2-2 pitch is swung on and fouled away right side. And Mikey Falia, by the way, moved over on that wild pitch as well, so he stands at second. And remember, there's just still 1 out on the board, or rather, there's 2 outs on the board. Scoreboard says 1 out. 2-2. Finds the outside corner, strike 3, and out number 3. And Ben Challey disagrees with it, lets the umpire hear it, but I don't think the umpire's all that worried as the Bullfrogs have a 7-1 lead. They played 3 runs in the top of the 8th. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 8th. Bullfrogs lead 7-1. It'll be Anthony Eglin who comes out to close things. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
This summer at Cellcom, save $100 on a new LG G6, and we'll cover your cost to switch from another carrier. Cellcom, built for you. Activation, flex agreement, and data subscription required. Device trade-in required. Restrictions apply. Trademarks and names are property of their respective owners. Visit cellcom.com/save for complete details.
Welcome back to Rivet Stadium, bottom of the 8th inning, about to get underway. The Bullfrogs have a 7-1 lead, staring down their first win against the Rockford Rivets all season. Coming into this game, the Bullfrogs 0-7 against the Rivets, and they were looking to avoid the season sweep. They had not been swept by any team in this season, the closest being the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors. The Raptors would take that series 7-1, and the Bullfrogs, if they can hold on, it would be the same here. They currently have the 7-1 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Jared Tobey's day comes to a close. And what a day it was. Jared Tobey dealing 7 innings for the Bullfrogs, dealing in 4 strikeouts, allowing just 2 walks and 7 hits. 1 run comes across, but it was unearned, and it would probably be his best outing all season. Anthony Eglin, right-handed pitcher, out on the mound now for the Bullfrogs. He deals in the first one to the leadoff man, number 24, for the Rockford Rivets, who came in to bat, of course, in a substitution situation, Zach Bailey. First one to Bailey is swung on and missed, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch comes in, that one swung on, and it's a slicing foul ball right side over towards the Bullfrogs bullpen, 0-2. Zach Bailey still looking for his first hit in a Rockford Rivets uniform. 0-2. That one runs high. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. As you look at the batting average list for this Rockford Rivets team, and Bailey, well, not on it. A newcomer to the team out of Madison College. The 1-2. Breaking ball runs high, evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's no outs on the board. Just got underway with the bottom of the 8th inning. Or rather, no, scoreboard has me wrong again. 2 appearances for Zach Bailey. Has a 167 batting average. In 6 at-bats has 1 single. So he's looking for his second hit of the game and has 1, or rather, in his career, and has 1 RBI. Me and the scoreboard are going to have some words after the game. We have not gotten along. The 2-2 comes in low. It's a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. That one runs low for ball 4. And Zach Bailey is walked for the first time in a Rivets uniform. And he gives his team a shot here in the 8th. They trail by 7, so it'll be tough, but not unheard of. Anthony Eglin not off to the great start. Has struggled at Trinity College with walking batters. And he walks one here to lead off the 8th inning. Due up now is Brian Klein, the 3rd baseman. Klein digs in, left-handed batter. First one to him. It's swung on, a pop-up. Ben Hart, the 2nd baseman, behind the second base bag. He's caught off by the shortstop, Riley Smith, who makes the grab for out number 1. Much needed pop-up there for Anthony Eglin. Talk about a confidence booster, of course, after walking the first one. So 1 out on the board, and it will bring up Zach Reams, the left fielder. Reams 0 for 2 today, managed the walk back in the 6th inning, and has struck out tonight as one of those 4 victims of Toby. Left-handed batter stands in. Zach Ream awaits. First one to him. Fastball that runs wide and low. A ball and no strikes. Trinity College right-hander out there on the mound comes set, and the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Ball and a strike now for the Texas Tech product. The tall and hefty left-handed batter, 6'1", 230. Reams awaits. The 1-1. Swung on, a well-hit ball into left center field. Tracking back is Ben Challey at the warning track. Makes the grab for out number 2. Over the shoulder grab out there. Couldn't quite tell if it bounced and hit the warning track one time and he grabbed it, or if he caught it on the fly. And sure enough, caught it on the fly. All the way back there against the warning track. His momentum brings him to the wall. Does not hit it per se dangerously, but does make contact with it. Out number 2 is recorded. And a much-needed out 2 for Anthony Eglin, who walked the first batter he saw. So a runner at first and 2 outs on the board now after the fly out to left. And Kean O'Brien, the right fielder, digs in. O'Brien 0 for 3 tonight, looking for his first hit of the day. Anthony Eglin, the right-handed pitcher out of Trinity, deals in the first one. Fastball right over the plate. Moves the count to 1-0, or rather 0-1. Ken O'Brien digs in. The 0-1. That's another fastball right over the zone, and Eglin gets ahead and no balls and 2 strikes. Runners at first. 0-2 pitch. Fastball runs low in the dirt. 1-2. Anthony Eglin on the season for the Bullfrogs. He has struggled at times. Be frank with you. 8.41 ERA coming into the game. Has dealt in 20 strikeouts to 19 walks. But Eglin does have a 3-1 record. A late inning reliever, and when he has pitched well, the guy is on. 1-2. Fastball, and that runs high, and that one gets away from Eglin. Evens the count 2-2. Would get the win in his last appearance against the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Pitched 2 innings, allowing 3 earned runs. Wasn't a bad day. Struck out 4. Against Kenosha, pitched 2 innings, allowing no earned runs and no hits, and what would probably be his best showing of the year. The 1-2 pitch is swung on, ground ball to third. Throw to first is in the dirt, and Willie Bourbon able to pick that one. A nice play from Willie Bourbon, and that does it for the bottom of the 8th inning. Anthony Eglin walks one, but then puts them down in order. That will do it for the 8th frame. The Bullfrogs, 1 inning away from grabbing their first win over the Rivets all season. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network 107.1 FM.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town.
We all want to be self-sufficient, whether it's fixing projects at home, whether it's changing the oil on the car, or maybe even keeping your checkbook balanced. But when it comes to income taxes, trust me, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to do it with someone that just does it 3 months a year as a little sideline job. You need to work with a proactive 24/7 CPA firm that can actually get you results and keep more money in your pocket. Pick up the phone today, 715-735-0583.
Welcome back to Rivets Stadium here at Rockford, Illinois. Colin Foch out on the mound now for the Rockford Rivets, a right-handed pitcher out of Elgin Community College. That sounds familiar. Ben Challey, who is the left fielder now for the Bullfrogs, played his community college ball at Edgelin as well before he would go on to play his college ball for UW Milwaukee. Due up for the Bullfrogs here in the top of the 9th inning will be Riley Smith, right-handed batter out of the University of Minnesota. So far on the night, Riley Smith for the Bullfrogs is back to his hitting ways, 2 for 4. First one to him. Fastball that finds the zone right over the plate, 0-1. So it'll be a new pitcher again for the Rockford Rivets, the 5th of the night. Bullfrogs have a 7-1 lead here in the top of the 9th inning. And Colin Foch, right-handed pitcher, kicks the leg, the 0-1. That one swung on and fouled off away right side, 0-2. Big shout out to everyone that's listening out there tonight across the country. Special shout out to the parents back home and some college friends who have gone and over to the crib to talk with the parents and hang out. And so a thank you to those of you that are listening, and thank you and shout out to those guys who have made the trip over to Suffolk, Virginia. An 0-2 count and the delivery. Swung on, a fly ball, foul territory right side. Tracking over the first baseman, Trevor Paradosky, and he makes the grab for out number 1. Good play by Trevor Paradosky, of course, who moved over from shortstop. Read it off the bat, looked like it was going to be a slicing ball out of play, but he covers the ground over there and grabs it for out number 1. So 1 away, and that brings up Troy Johnston, the right fielder out of the University of Gonzaga. 2 for 4 tonight, and has just been absolutely hot recently for the Bullfrogs. Here in his last 4 games, batting over 400. First one to him. Fastball that runs wide, 1-0. Bullfrogs 3 outs away after their time at the plate comes to a close from grabbing this first victory over the Rivets. To be honest with you, I didn't know if it was going to come. Last night, the Bullfrogs, of course, lose a game to the Rockford Rivets. 3-0, or rather 10-1, in a game where they were never in it. 5 errors, 5 unearned runs, and that would be the storyline of the day. And it was not looking good. 2 out. That one swung on and found a way right side, 2-1. But what a response today. Would go down in the game 1-0. Took a 2-0 lead in the top of the 4th. Plated 2 more runs in the top of the 7th. And then a 3-run top of the 8th inning as the bullpen for the Rockford Rivets could not back up the good starting pitching from Max Bain. The 2-1. Fastball wide, and hitters count now for Troy Johnston, 3-1. Johnston, the left-handed hitter out of Gonzaga, awaits. And the 3-1 dish from Colin Foch runs high, ball 4. Or my apologies. Again, me and the scoreboard, we are not close friends today. That one goes high for a ball, and it moves the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The dish. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout. I thought it was ball 4, and sure enough, instead, it's strike 3. Second out of this 9th inning, and finally, the Rockford Rivets manage themselves some relief pitching. It's Colin Foch that finally comes in and deals some solid innings, the 4th pitcher that has come out. Max Bain started things out tonight for the Rockford Rivets, going 6 strong, allowing just 2 earned runs. Not a bad day. 6 strikeouts to 1 walk. He was relieved by Hughes, who allowed 2 earned runs in 1 inning of work. And then Kogut, he allowed 3 earned runs of 1 inning of work. So far, Foch has retired both batters he's faced. First one into Dan Leckie runs high, 1-0. Dan Leckie stands in the 1-0. Fastball runs high, 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs on the board. Top of the 9th inning. Bullfrogs trying to escape out of Rockford with a W. Haven't done it all year. Dan Leckie digs back in. Right-handed batter out of Lafayette College. Colin Foch comes set, the 2-0. Swung on, popped up, foul territory. Catcher Logan Michaels by the backstop netting, can't make the grab, and it lands just right next to an older lady, spectator. I think she actually might have been hit by that one. That's got to be uncomfortable. She seems to be okay, though. A trooper. Even gives the ball up to give to another kid. And so the count moves to 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs on the board. Nobody on here in the top of the 9th inning. Bullfrogs with 10 hits tonight compared to 7 for the Rivets. If they win tonight, it'll be 7 of their last 9 that they have won. 2-1. Swung on, well hit ball, foul territory, left side out of play, and into the bordering picnic area here at Rivet Stadium. Bullfrogs will travel back home tomorrow to face off against the Kalamazoo Growlers. Or my apologies, against the Madison Mallards for a home-and-home series, and then they'll play the Growlers. 2-2. Swung on, line drive to short, and Bryn Martinez grabs that one at his ankles in the air for out number 3. So the Rockford Rivets find some solid relief pitching, but it's too late it seems. Colin Foch deals in a 1-2-3 inning, and on to the bottom of the 9th we go. The Bullfrogs have a 7-1 lead, looking to hold on. It'll be Anthony Eglin who comes in to try to close it out. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin. Every Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brew Pub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
At 24/7 Well and Pump Service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site. Whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines, they'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 Well and Pump Service, Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium. Bottom of the ninth inning, Bullfrogs 3 outs away from their first victory over the Rivets this season. Leading things off will be Anthony Forte. First one to him. Fastball and hits the outside corner, 0-1. Still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs is Anthony Eglin, right-handed pitcher out of Trinity College. Anthony Eglin has been good recently for the Bullfrogs in relief, but has struggled at times this season. 0-1. Fastball and runs in the dirt, 1-1. Anthony Eglin has been one of my favorite storylines just to talk about from anybody. Has the best stories. The guy's a A+ dancer, has the best robot I think I've seen in person ever. And he's got some interesting eating habits as well. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up foul behind me here. 2-1. And by that I mean he's never eaten cheese. Asked him yesterday what the hottest food he had ever eaten was. His answer was Big Red Gum. Had never had chicken before this summer, but likes it now, but it has to be as dry as possible. 2-1. Swung on and fouled back, evens the count 2-2. And yesterday, for the first time, had pulled pork. That was the pregame meal here, and he shook his head at it when we first got there. And then afterwards, after some players and myself trying to egg him on, finally decided, all right, I'll try it. And granted, it was the driest meat I've ever eaten, but Anthony Eglin liked it and said I'll have to call home and tell my parents that I ate pulled pork. The 2-2. Swung on, a well-hit ball deep to right. That ball is at the warning track. That ball is past the beer garden, and that ball is gone. A solo shot, and the Rockford Rivets edge just a bit closer as Anthony Forte hits a home run over the right field wall. Takes his time going around the bases as well. And the Rockford Rivets now trail by 5, 7-2. A no-doubter. Right fielder Troy Johnston stops chasing after it the second it went off the bat. That one past the beer garden. What a shot. Forte says, hold on just a minute. And just like that now, there's an uneasy feeling in the air if you're a Bullfrogs fan. It's going to be one heck of a comeback if the Rivets can do it. First one into the new batter, Logan Michael, runs wide and low, 1-0. Anthony Forte coming into the at-bat for the Rockford Rivets, batting .284. That's his first home run of the season. A 1-0 to Michaels. That one runs inside, 2-0. Forte's been around for some time as well, 30 games. Making that his 22nd RBI of the year as well. Still no outs on the board. The 2-0 to Michaels. Swung on, line drive to right field, and the Rockford Rivets have some life. That being their 9th hit of the game. And a runner at first with no outs on the board will bring up Trevor Paradosky. Paradosky on the day, 1 for 2. A single back in the third, was walked in the 7th. Anthony Eglin, a right-handed pitcher, comes set and deals. Swung on, a well-hit ball into left field. This one's going to track foul, however, landing into the bordering seats here on the left side. Count moves to 0-1. Anthony Eglin comes set, kicks the leg, the 0-1 dish. That one swung on, fouled straight back, 0-2. No outs on the board, a runner over at first. Anthony Eglin trying to get out of the frame for the Bullfrogs. Anthony Eglin relieving Jared Toby, of course, who had an absolute great game. 7 strong innings from Toby. 0-2, swung on, ground ball right side, another base hit. That's their 10th hit of the game, which matches the Green Bay's total. Runners at first and second now, no outs on the board. And we're back up to the top of the lineup. It'll be the meat of the lineup that comes in. And the Bullfrogs frantically trying to get a right-handed pitcher warming up now. It's Nick Parr out there in right field trying to warm things up, and not off to a great start as one of his warm-up pitches goes into the dugout of the Bullfrogs. Bryn Martinez digs in. He's 1 for 4 today. Last night, 4 for 6. He's been hot. Eglin comes set. The righty checks the runner at second and deals. Swung gone, ground ball right side, finds the gap again. Another run, or rather another single. Their third of the inning, and the bases are loaded. The tying run, theoretically, would be on deck now. The Bullfrogs have a 7-run lead, but there's runners at first, second, and third. Coming up to the plate, the most dangerous player on the roster, Hunter Fiducia. Fiducia on the season, .366. 59 hits, 36 RBIs, and 8 home runs. Fiducia 1 for 3 today. They've relied on him all year. Can he do it again? First one to him. Fastball right over the plate, 0-1. Anthony Eglin has put himself in a bind. Can he give his team a couple of outs before the righty in the pen can get warm? Eglin comes set. Checks the runner at third, the 0-1. That one finds the zone. 0-2, he gets ahead. Good start to the at-bat. Fiducia, a recent commitment to LSU this past season. Played for LSU Units. 0-2. Swung gone, fly ball left side, foul. A man amongst boys here in the Northwoods League. Some unreal numbers. In 40 games has 36 RBIs. Left-handed batter stands in the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got past the catcher, but in fact, Fiducia actually just managed to get a piece of that one. And so he stays alive. The 6'2 lefty digs back in, trying to create a spark for his team. He can manage a home run here. It would be a 1-run ball game. 0-2 pitch, swung gone, a line drive into deep left center field. Tracking back, it hits the warning track and the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. 3 runs will score, and the Rockford Rivets storm back in it. The tying run comes to the plate. No outs on the board, make it a 3 RBI double, and Hunter Fiducia has done it again. His 39th RBI of the season and his 17th double. 3 RBI double, base clearing. And Chris Sabo has seen enough. He's going to go to the pen. We'll see who comes out for the Bullfrogs, but we're going to step aside. A 4-run bottom of the 6th, and there's still no outs on the board with runner in scoring position. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream. Stay tuned. We'll tell you who it is when we come back.
Attention pizza lovers, have you tried a Brewpub pizza? Designed to be the best pub pizzas ever made, every Brewpub Lots of Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a ½ pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brewpub pizzas out at facebook.com/brewpubpizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
We all want to be self-sufficient, whether it's fixing projects at home, whether it's changing the oil on the car, or maybe even keeping your checkbook balanced. But when it comes to income taxes, trust me, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to do it with someone that just does it 3 months a year as a little sideline job. You need to work with a proactive 24/7 CPA firm that can actually get you results and keep more money in your pocket. Pick up the phone today. 715-735-0583.
Oh. Hello and welcome back to Ribbit Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning, and we might be witnessing one of the best comebacks in Northwoods League history. The Rockford Rivets have stormed back into this game. Coming into the bottom of the 9th inning, the Frogs have a 7-1 lead. 4 runs have come across here in the bottom of the 9th inning. A solo shot from Anthony Forte is the first one. That creates the spark, and then 3 singles followed by a base-clearing double from Hunter Fiducia. Puts 3 runs across. 7-5 is the score, and the Frogs have gone to the bullpen. It's Nick Parr who comes out. Parr on the season for the Frogs has a 6.80 ERA, a 2-4 record, and 1 save. This would be a save situation as he comes in with the Bullfrogs just 2 runs ahead. There's a runner at second, and so the tying run will come to the plate. Nick Parr, despite struggling this season with a 6.80 ERA, has been great recently. Would allow just 1 inning of work in a win against Lakeshore, 4 innings. Against Kalamazoo, would struggle a bit, but against Kenosha, 4 innings with the win, no earned runs. Against Kenosha the very next day, 1 inning of work, closing out the game and getting the save. Can he get the save again? Right-handed pitcher out of Oakland comes set and deals. Zach Bailey shows bunt but misses, 0-1. Nick Parr has been a guy that just absolutely busted onto the scene against Kenosha. 5 innings of work, allowing just 1 earned run combined. The 0-1. That's a check swing fastball that runs low. Appeal to the second base umpire, says no, did not go around, and it evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's no outs on the board. Hunter Fiducia stands at second. Zach Bailey digs in. He awaits. Has just 1 hit to his name. The 1-1. Swung on. Well hit ball into left field. Base hit. They're going to send in Hunter Fiducia. He rounds third and comes across to score. And the Bullfrogs now only lead by 1. Make it a tie ball, 1-run ball game. My corrections, the scoreboard has said that it's 7-7, but it's 7-6. An RBI single from Zach Bailey, just his 2nd hit.
It's 7-6, not 7-7. 7-6, not 7-7.
So Brian Klein will now dig in. He's the go-ahead run. Tying run at first base in Zach Bailey. First one to him. Swung on, line drive to center. Another base hit. The Rockford Rivets absolutely on fire. Here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tying run at second. Go-ahead run at first. And Zach Reams dig in. 5 runs here in the bottom of the 9th. An unprecedented comeback. The Bullfrogs still have yet to record an out. Outside infielders now off of the infield grass. Runners at first and second. Zach Ream digs in. Nick Parr comes set and deals. Fastball that runs low, 1-0. Nick Parr trying to slow things down here. No outs on the board. Runners at first and second. They've scored 5 runs here in the bottom of the 9th. 7-6 ball game. 1-0 from Nick Parr. Swung on, line drive to second. Ben Hart has it, tossed to shortstop in time. He steps on the second base bag and make it a double play. Exactly what the Bullfrogs wanted. It's what the doctor ordered. A double play takes the life out of this stadium. The worst thing that could have possibly happened for the Rivets just did. A line drive to the second baseman, Ben Hart. A shuffle pass to Riley Smith, the shortstop. He comes over and gets the runner out there. That being, of course, Zach Bailey. First one to Keane O'Brien. Fastball low, 1-0. The Bullfrogs now an out away from trying to grab this one. Brian Klein takes a lead at first. He represents the tying run. 1-0. Fastball, that one hits the zone, evens it up 1-1. Keon O'Brien on the season for the Rivets, batting just .200. Check swing at the 1-1, it's low, and he gets ahead 2-1. Keon O'Brien on the season has not recorded a home run, just 5 RBIs in 22 games. The righty digs in out of Madison College. The 2-1 from Park. Swung on, ground ball to third. Leckie gloves it, throw to first is low and off the bag. It gets way wide. They're going to send in the runner from third. He's rounding the throw from the first baseman in time. Bullfrogs win. The Bullfrogs win 7-6. It's a ground ball to third. Dan Leckie grabs it. Throw to first is off target. Gets way past the first baseman, Willie Bourbon. It was thrown so hard that it ricochets off of the right field line, third base wall, back into fair territory. Willie Bourbon picks it up, launches it into home. Zach Plunkett grabs it and applies the tag to the runner that was coming around to tie the game up. The Bullfrogs have just won what might have been the most close game of the season. It's 14 hits for the Rockford Rivets on the night, 10 for the Bullfrogs. What a game. Nick Parr comes in to get the save, but boy, was it ugly. The Frogs up 7-1 in the bottom of the ninth inning. 5 runs score in the bottom of the ninth, and talk about a game of inches and feet. The throw in, no doubt about it, is in time, but it was about seconds in time. Bullfrogs win 7-6. Stay tuned for the post-game show. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Frogs win.
We've heard it time and time again. You want local loan decisions and servicing, faster turnaround, and answers to your questions handled right here in Oconto. At the Stevenson National Bank and Trust, we've got all of those bases covered, from local loan decisions and on-time closings to great rates and fair terms. Visit me, Bob Schwartz, at the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. I've helped many people, and now I'd like to help you with your next loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium. Holy smoke, still trying to catch my breath from that one. Heart is pounding here at Rockford, Illinois. The Bullfrogs win it 7-6. A 5-run bottom of the ninth inning for the Rockford Rivets. Inches away from one of the best comebacks I would have ever witnessed live. It's a ground ball to the third baseman, Dan Leckie, who scoops it up with the glove. The throw to first is off target, got way past Willie Bourbon. It was thrown so hard, in fact, that it hit off of the third base wall, and the sheer amount of force thrown on the ball forces that ball back into fair territory. Willie Bourbon, the first baseman who had dove to try to make the stretch, gets up, picks it up out there in right field. That's how far it bounced, and it throws it into Zach Plunkett. The throw is a bit high. Plunkett jumps in the air and grabs it, and the runner rounding third, and Hunter Fiducia slides in, and the play is made. Or rather, it was Zach Reams that rounds third to try to score, and Plunkett applies the tag, ending the game. The Bullfrogs win 7-6 in what is probably the most dramatic game of the season for the Bullfrogs. The best part about it for the Bullfrogs fans at this point in the year, they're playing for nothing. They've been kicked out of the playoffs. However, as you heard in the pregame interview with Chris Marstons, at this point when you're not in it anymore, all you can do is try to knock other guys out. And the Rockford Rivets desperately in need of a win as they currently hold on to the top spot in the South Division. It was the 9th place team versus the 1st place team, and the Bullfrogs come away victorious. What a game here in Rockford. Let's take a look at the scores around the league, and then we'll take a look at the box score and give you your Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine player of the game. The Green Bay Bullfrogs win here in Rockford 7-6. They are out-hit 10-14, but would take advantage of 3 wild pitches and score on all 3 of those. An error apiece for both teams, or rather it would be 2 errors as there was an error on that last play. The Rochester Hawkers beat the Bismarck Larks 3-1. The Fond du Lac Dock Spiders beat the Battle Creek Bombers 14-3. That Dock Spider team is hot. The Kalamazoo Growlers beat the Wisconsin Woodchucks 6-1. The Waterloo Bucks, they lose to the St. Cloud Rocks 9-2. In the top of the 4th inning, in a game that is currently in a rain delay, the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters have a 6-0 lead over the Kenosha Kingfish. The Thunder Bay Border Cats and the Eau Claire Express game has yet to get underway. The Madison Mallards are in Lake Shore, and the Mallards currently trail the Ducks 2-3. That game in the bottom of the 7th inning, both of those teams in playoff contention. The Rochester Honkers have a 7-3 lead over the Bismarck Larks in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the La Crosse Loggers, they currently trail the Mankato Moondogs 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Another game delayed due to rain. Duluth Huskies and the Wilmar Stingers, they will play once that one is underway. Let's take a look at the box score presented by the Knight, Grimm, Hernandez, and Freeze family. Leadoff batter for the Green Bay Bullfrogs, Mikey Falia, didn't do too bad today. Mikey Falia would manage a base hit for the Bullfrogs. Would manage a stolen base as well. One of 2 stolen bases today for the Bullfrogs. Or rather, my apologies, Riley Smith not with the stolen base. Those going to rather Begniski and Troy Johnston. Mikey Falia did go 1 for 4 tonight with a walk. Ben Challey, he went 1 for 2 tonight. Would come in to replace Connor Beniski, who went 1 for 3 tonight with a run scored. Riley Smith goes 2 for 5. He managed a run scored. Troy Johnston, 2 for 5 with a RBI. Dan Leckie, 0 for 4 with a walk. Kyle Bino, 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Ben Hart, 0 for 2 tonight with 2 walks. Willie Bourbon, 2 for 4 tonight. He managed himself a run scored and two walks. My apologies. Willie Bourbon went 2 for 4 tonight with 2 runs, a triple, and 2 RBIs. And Zach Plunkett, 0 for 3 tonight, but managed an RBI, a sacrifice fly. Jared Toby, he got the start tonight and the win. Goes 7 strong for the Bullfrogs, allowing just 7 hits, no earned runs, 1 run, would walk 2, and strike out 4. Anthony Eglin goes 1 inning for the Bullfrogs and would not retire a batter in the 9th. 5 earned runs in that 1 inning of work. All 5 of those earned runs come in the 9th inning, but nobody will give them too hard of a time as the Bullfrogs come away with the victory. Nick Parr comes in to close out the 9th, and he allowed 2 hits, but would hold on to get the save. Bullfrogs win 7-6. Your Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine player of the game, Jared Toby. Starting pitcher for the Bullfrogs gets the win, went 7 strong, allowing no earned runs. Would walk 2 and strike out 4. And that will do it here in Green Bay. Thanks to all of you who have tuned in across the country. Thanks to all of you who tune in and day out. Thanks for allowing me to call Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball. And as always, it's a pleasure. Shout out to Dave back in the studio hanging out with me tonight, helping me out with everything. And shout out to you for being Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball fan. It is a good day when the Bullfrogs win. 7-6 on to tomorrow. The Bullfrogs face off against the Madison Mallards. Pregame show will be set for 6:55 normal time back in Green Bay before an off day on Tuesday. Stay tuned until next time. As always, peace.
That has been Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on WOCO Stereo FM. Today's game being brought to you by 24/7 Well and Pump, Islandfeld, Scatcherd, and Anderson, the NAW Credit Union, O'Connell Pharmacy, the O'Connell Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and Wits Piggly Wiggly. Also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing. Stay tuned for more Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on 107.1 WOCO Stereo FM. Have a great day.